Welcome back to Voyages of the Defiance. Blake, would you like to summarize what happened last time since you watched the VoD?
So what happened last time is, yeah, it actually is kind of a bit. So Samuel Ash, like kind of the progenitor of this last entire session, was like, "Hey guys, what if we steal this thing?" And he basically said that to a couple of people, and the one person who kind of needed he needed to get on his side was Rudol, who kind of said it to the captain and Adrian was like, "Nuh-uh," and then everyone at the meeting was like, "Yeah-huh," and so they went to go do it. Sam thought he could drink a dwarf under the table, which I don't know how the fuck he thought he would do that. Yeah, his L take, massive L take. Anyways,
Bro was dead ass.
there were warships near where the heist was gonna go down. Everyone was like, nuh-uh, and Samuel Ash in his drunken stupor was like, yeah-huh, and then he died.
Presumably.
We don't know that he died, unfortunately. I think he's alive.
There's no way he's alive.
No, I just don't think he went on the boat. I don't think he would have ever gone onto the boat. I think he just sent other people.
That is true. There are 5 members missing from the crew, but only 4 were seen on the deck of the other ship before you fled.
I mean, we only saw 4, but that means he could have been below deck. Or
Correct,
something like that.
absolutely.
Or
yeah.
he could have just been,
He could be dead. We just don't know.
Yeah.
Well, either way, it'd be an amazing if we ever saw him again, because we kind of just dipped without him.
Oh.
And then we started getting chased by a warship, which we lost, and then they found us again. Well, find is kind of, we don't know if they found us because we hid in in like a cavern, and
Cove.
Like a cove, and they're kind of just waiting us out because I think they just decided to like wait there for the night, but we're on a timer because like once it turns to morning, they'll see us, and we either have 2 options of like sneaking close
I think
to
we already did
the.
Indeed,
right?
you already did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we did. Okay.
Yeah, we decided to go out to sea and then make hold out in like open sea.
Yeah, and you got hit by a really nasty windstorm, and then you decided to go northward.
At a slow pace, so
back
we got
to
a short
land.
rest.
Yep, and that is right where we left off.
I forgot
So,
about that.
yeah. It's
So
been
I'm not
4
caught up in
days
the lore.
since the Defiance has left port. The mad dash southward to try to outrun ships and whatever else was chasing you has finally gotten a chance to slow down. And as the sun crests over the horizon, a new day starts. The smell of sea air, sweat, and humanity in the tight confines of the ship are potent. Captain Svensson, what is it like to be at sea? Who do you talk to? What do you eat? Basically, what does the day of Captain Svensson look like?
Well, I get up. I guess first thing I do is go check that we're still on course with whoever the night officer is. Who is that?
That is Kaheen,
Me.
your quartermaster.
Alright, yeah, I go check with Kaheen, get the update on anything that happened or didn't happen throughout the night. After that, sort of go get something to eat, and wander around, checking with people, see how they're doing, make sure everything's running all good. Do any administrative tasks that need doing.
What does the social
Look at
life
the
of Captain
scene for,
Svensson look
an
like?
hour. Well, he was a Marine, and that was his job when he first got on the ship. So he goes and he talks with them a lot, and so, relates to them. And then talks to the other officers.
Okay.
Goes and kicks a debt slave because it's fun. I don't know.
Jesus. Do you have any friends amongst the crew?
No.
I don't know. I didn't think about that. He must.
So, who would it be? Well, you said he met with a lot of the Marines. There are 4 Marines who are veterans of the ship, having been here for, basically since it first left the city, which are Ugyak, Horka, Ond, and Ors. The other ones are newly recruited.
Oh yeah, those guys.
Yeah, of course. How can you ever forget Uyak?
Of course.
Well, okay, also
Not my
Vezio,
best
of course. Vezio
orders.
has been on the ship since, like, day one, and he's had levels since, like, very early in the previous campaign, so.
Yes, me and Vezio were quite close. Let's see.
What does that relationship look like if he's just dead silent?
You can enjoy someone's company without talking.
Okay.
That
Alright.
is true.
Bro.
Whoa. All right then. Well then, I was just curious what, you know, because one of the things to keep in mind is how fucking small the Defiance is. Like, this is what the Defiance looks like. One sec. The Defiance is very.
Oh, those
wait.
aren't real.
No, those aren't real. Those aren't meant to be there. In fact, none of these. I forgot that these tokens are on this page.
Unfortunate.
This is my storage location for tokens. Anyways, this is how big the Defiance is. It's very, very small, as you can see. It is, I mean, it's 115 feet, so it's not small. It's just, there are almost 100 people on this ship.
Yeah. I remember you talking
We're almost
about
the
how,
right
like,
number
like
of beds.
Well, the thing is, most of the debt slaves and people like that sleep on their benches, and then you sling hammocks over their heads. So you basically have the entire crew pressed together in incredibly tight spaces. Only
Yeah,
the captain has a bed.
like literally
Is this-
packed like
is-
sardines.
Is that what this is back here?
Correct. That is the only room, like actual room on the entire ship, and it's exclusive to the captain. And it's huge. It's like,
Where is
you know,
the treasure chest go?
the treasure chest you can keep either in the captain's quarters or down in the hold. Captain's quarters are probably better though.
Yeah, I'll do
The
that.
captain's quarters would also contain all the maps, everything that's water sensitive. Most of Crab's research would be in the captain's cabin, so it's more like officer cabin, but he's the one that sleeps there, no one else. But yeah, just like as a population density thing, you know, this ship is roughly 20 feet wide and it's 110 feet long, so not a lot of space, you know, people have less than a couple square feet to themselves, and for debt slaves, obviously that's much worse. So I just was curious what, you know, your daily life would look like, because pretty fucking miserable.
I'd say Crab and I are pretty close, just because of, I guess, the time proximity. I spend time in the quarters.
Yeah, he spends almost all of his time in there. What do you feel about his, we'll call it research?
He's basically torturing animals, right?
Yeah.
Well, okay.
The human cat.
Does he? You know what? I'll ask him for what purpose is he doing all this?
Yeah, so early in the morning, you know, the quartermaster, Kaheen, she's over in the corner with Unios plotting where you guys are going to travel for the day. And Crab is sitting there petting his partially human cat, and underneath a glass jar is a beetle that has been essentially split open. And next to the beetle, he has a little notebook in which he's making incredibly detailed sketches of the beetle's broken body.
Crab? I'm just curious. What's all this leading to? I'll gesture to the beetle and the cat.
Uncovering magic of the olds. The ancients.
You said I'm in the room, right?
Yeah, you're in the room.
Okay, I'm
look
gonna
at
kind of
the
like
cat.
turn around and look at that.
Does the cat make direct eye contact with me?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird and creepy.
It slowly
How much
blinks.
Of this cat is human. It's
Yeah, the face is human and the front paws are human hands.
Fully human face.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
and
Think like the
that.
Cats movie, like that's the general
Yeah.
vibe where
But it's okay. But
I'll
less
point at the cat
anthropomorphic.
and,
less anthropomorphic. Yeah, it's not on two legs, it's on four, but the face is like uncanny valley horrifying.
It's like Jason Derulo.
Yeah, definitely. 100%.
point at the cat, and why that?
That is an experiment in flesh sculpting.
Which
Oh.
ancient people?
The most powerful mages in all of history, the Aljana.
I'm gonna roll a history check, see how much I know about the Aljana.
Well, luckily for you, you automatically know this because it is just what the elves are called in parts of El Sirah.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah. Yes. And they did this with their time.
They did much
And I'll
greater
point to the
things.
horrifying cat.
This cat is only the beginning.
What
What is the end?
what is the end?
Perhaps something sentient, like those trollkin in the city-state. Something fully made of arcane construction.
What would you like to make if you could?
A better people.
Well,
All right, that's gonna give me like heebie-jeebies, but I'm not like disgusted. It's just like
I'm 29.
So that's your friend, Svensson?
I don't think he's gonna do it in my lifetime. Not a big deal.
All right, well, it's good to see
That's
us.
why he said I'm 29 and I'm gonna die soon, so I can be friends with him.
Well, that's our good friend Crab, Poggers.
Yeah, no, Crab weirds me out. I wish he wouldn't do that stuff in here. But I'm
Yeah.
not gonna
He weirds everyone out, man. When he made the cat, it was much worse. Luckily, literally no one in the entire crew was witness to that. It was just Crab alone in his house. But yeah. Okay, so let's do today's travel. We're gonna go to the world map, but I'm not gonna, obviously, no ship token. So this is a real test of Ben's memory. I'll describe the general area, but where do you think you are and where do you want to go?
Yeah, hold on. Let me navigate.
Sure. Real quick, we'll cut to the captain. Do we want to go slow, normal, or fast?
Are we all rested? Have we gotten rid of our exhaustions?
You guys took a short rest last time, so no one should have exhaustion.
Okay, normal it is.
All right.
All right, and then Alex, I remember we had a big scuffle that was, I believe, here at this bay. Or wait, no. Oh,
I didn't see anything. Kind of.
Sorry,
That's
yeah,
that code was
this-
to cover in to avoid the ship.
Yeah, and then we went down. Can I just remember like the last instruction that I
The
gave
last
you, or should I be
instruction you
writing
said
that
was
down?
you should probably write it down. But the last instruction you gave was go north until you spotted land. Currently, to your north, you can basically figure out cardinal directions. To your northeast is the bay, where the shenanigans went down. To your north is the Feywood. To your south is open ocean. To your west is open ocean.
Can I help since I'm an assistant?
When he makes the navigator's checks, yeah.
I mean, like while we're talking here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, yeah. If you want to chime in, feel free.
Didn't we have like where we were this many from the west of the city, and then we calculated however many down?
When you were in the middle of the open ocean, you used the stars to
You
figure out your
gave me,
spot.
you gave me a number of miles away from the city that we were, like
Correct.
the west of the city.
Yeah.
What was that number?
When you were in the open ocean, I believe it was 40 miles.
40.
Mm-hmm.
While we were in the open ocean, which would be like only right down here.
Oh,
and
and
we
then,
went
but
back
then we
north.
traveled, like, and then did we travel directly north, or did we travel?
You went northwest for 1 day of slow travel.
Okay, so I'm gonna say that we're basically here then, right? And you said we can see the bay.
Yeah.
Okay, then
And you can
I
see
think we're here.
on the open ocean, you can see for about 12 miles before I think curvature just prevents it.
Yeah. Ethan, how do you feel about like a crazy?
Oh shit, the
That
skip.
might be a,
We're speed running.
that might be a bit much. How about we do something like closer to that?
Well, that's the thing, is that's like the same distance. These are all like 41, 42, because it rounds.
Well, no, that's not quite what I mean. I more mean if we go here, we can miss by that much and that much. If we go here, we can only miss by that much. If we miss by that much, well,
That'd be really
you
awkward
wanna-
going
you
out
wanna
to
be
open ocean.
Practice the skip, but
No, I
give
mean, we
leeway.
Okay, wait.
again.
What about
Margin of
this
error.
skip?
we can do
orange
like
one.
that, can't we? Because then you have like 15 miles, 17, something like 17 miles.
I'm saying check out the orange line.
Why not just due west? 'Cause
You know,
that way
that's-
if
Yeah,
we're,
due
like,
west, and we probably can't miss. That just gets you into more open, and it's this deeper tile of blue, which is scary.
There are different encounters
Well,
there, and it is much deeper, but you would be able to drop anchor still, so you could always just stop.
Yeah,
Evaluate.
I'm thinking though.
At what point do we stop?
The second tier of water, so not this stuff, but this stuff out here in the ship.
Okay. Then I actually kind of like due west. I think that's probably solid.
Yeah, I also
Do people
like
know
think
how
it's
deep
good.
it is out there?
No, they don't know the depth because they don't have enough sticks to measure it, but it's deep enough that your anchor won't work.
Don't we have deep anchor?
You do have deep
That's
anchor, which
out
is why
here
you can
you're
do it. Yeah, which is why you
this
can do it here. Just fine. That's deep anchor.
Telling me no one has ever filled their entire boat's hold with rope, tied it to a rock, and just dropped it down there?
No.
Oh.
They know there's nothing out there. They know there's nothing out there.
Motherfuckers are gonna go, it's really deep, and then
Yeah,
like,
like-
into the expedition.
Like, if you want to get really into it, technically no one knows the Mistwall goes all the way around Valoros because the only places that they've approached it from are Al-Sarah, Cavaranth, and the colonies because that's the closest
Oh.
points. So technically there could just be a giant
that
gap
hole.
somewhere to the
Has
southeast.
that Has that been the gambit this entire time?
Yeah, because how the fuck are you gonna go check the entire mist wall? It's like 20,000 miles.
New campaign idea.
All right, then I think do you want to be risking skips in open ocean, or do you want to just follow coast? I feel like really we should be risking skips because at some point we're gonna have to do Hammersfall, and I want to learn about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Also, if you want to follow the coast, there is no navigation required. You can just, follow the coast. That is the easiest way of doing it.
I think with our fucking insane level of navigation, it's worth to get good practice in open ocean and see maybe if we do encounter something, like what kind of level they're on.
Okay.
I like
Orange.
west southwest.
West, southwest. All right, let's take the orange.
Yeah,
line.
like this.
Hey,
That gives us
Ben.
plenty of buffer.
Wait,
Yes,
no, I thought
but-
we were right up here.
Do
Yeah,
you
sorry.
do you mind if Rudel gets in on this so he could give you a flash of genius? Because he has 4 uses.
What
I don't think that's
specifically
how that
does
works.
Flash of Genius do?
It just, when you're within a 30 feet of someone who makes a skill check or saving throw, you get to add my intelligence modifier, which is +4.
I think that would work for combat, but unfortunately this is a tool check, not a skill check, which, I mean, tool proficiency, skill proficiency, kind of similar, but this is mostly for proficient navigators. So unless you have proficiency in the navigation tools, then no bueno.
Well-
You could help with the helmsman, because he does water vehicles, and I think you do have water vehicles proficiency, so you could help the helmsman. But, yeah.
Well, it's not me who makes the check. It's just like I
No,
get
I
to
know.
add it.
I think that skill can only be used on like either actual skill checks or things you have
Yeah.
proficiency in.
I want like a
Is
30-degree drop.
Is
Okay.
this per
Okay.
long rest? Like,
It's many
Yeah.
times per long rest.
Yeah.
yeah,
4
I
time-
don't think we need it here.
Yeah.
It may be a
I
very
saw it-
long time until you get a long rest.
I'd say
Okay.
just save that.
All right. Well,
fair
let's get our navigator rolls. They are Ben's, of course, and with the assistance of Jackson, the final roll is going to be a navigator's tools check plus 1d4.
But then I also have.
Oh, sorry, it's 1d6 from you, 1d4 from Jackson. Never mind.
That's what. All right, that's what.
Yeah, so it's navigators plus 1d6, Ben's, and then plus 1d4.
And the D6 is from the.
The d6 from the astrolabe.
The Astro
Yeah,
Blade.
okay, cool.
Yeah.
Ooh, oh, I thought it was advantage. I don't know.
No,
I
it's
thought it was
not.
advantage. Not great.
Alrighty.
Not great.
Um, as the day begins, the wind is pretty light, but a rainstorm is pulling through the bay. It's not a true storm, not a true thunderstorm where ships can, be destroyed. It's just rain pelting the deck for the better part of the entire day, which makes it very difficult to be able to see the horizon and figure out the position of stars. Obviously, your crystal helps. That's the only reason you're able to do anything. But when a massive dense cloud goes over the deck of the ship, it will sort of interfere with your ability to read the skies. So that is a failure on your first navigator's tools check. You do get a second one, though, to bank those dice to help the helmsman.
So second navigators.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, that should do.
And then do I roll a D6 and shit?
Yeah. The travel DC can get pretty high depending on the conditions. Wow, that's
fucking-
insane.
That's crazy. That's wild.
Thank God for
Anyways,
your amazing roll.
that is a pass, so you can add another D4 to your pool of dice that you can give the helmsman
Yeah,
in
I
the
should
case
be-
that he fails.
Tracking that somewhere. I have 2 now.
Yeah, and today's going to be a rough one for the helmsman because of the rainstorm.
What do I
So-
call them?
Navigator die, I
Helmsman
guess.
die.
Or helmsman die, however you want to record it. So,
I've got 2.
Ethan. It's just a flat D20 with an additional D4, I believe, because I don't think you have any special. I think you're just a normal proficient. Yeah, that gives you the D4.
No, I need to. I thought that was gonna roll it.
Oh, it's just a D20 with no modifiers, so.
Yeah, but I want to. Well, you know what? I can just click the D1 button.
Okay. And then a
Hey,
D4 on
Alex.
top of that. Yes, Blake.
Question. Sorry, I keep jumping back to Flash of Genius.
Yeah, that's
but
fine.
it says I could use my reaction. Does that mean I can wait to see if what the dice roll is before I add it, or
Jesus Christ.
Is that how reactions work? I'm just
technically, as a reaction, it could be either. Normally it says specifically in the feature. There's some in particular, like there are features in 5e that say you can do this after seeing the result of the die. I don't think Flash of Genius would say that, so my guess is it's only like when someone says, oh, I'm going to attempt this, you'd be like, all right, we really need to pass this, boom, reaction, I'm going to help you.
Okay, fair enough.
Why did you roll so many d4s, Ethan?
Well, I was seeing if roll 20 was broken.
Oh, well, it is not, and you have a 15.
That was a lot of ones.
That's a lot of ones all in a row.
The helmsman has a 15. Kaheen, would you like to lend him any dice?
He has a 15.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll give him one.
Okay, roll an additional real d4, Ethan.
Get that one, baby.
Alrighty, with a 16, that is a failure. So I'm going to roll something. Alright.
That was absurd.
Sea creature.
No, that's not why I said oh, that was unrelated. It's that when I do a GM roll, it shows up in the chat log, which means that the audience, well, I guess the audience gets to know what it is then. That's fine. Alright, so you guys begin to go... Yeah. You guys begin to...
encountered that in...
No, because in that one, I literally never do GM rolls. I roll physical dice. But this one, I'm like, oh, I'm going to be quirky and quirked up. And then I roll it. I'm like, oh, that's in the... Anyways, you guys begin to head westward. And we already know why the quartermaster has difficulty. There's rain pummeling down. The maps are limited. You can't see the stars when the clouds are in front of it. For the helmsman, the captain, it's that the deck is constantly being covered in water, and Svensson has to walk away to go tell someone to do something, and when he gets back, the ship is like 15 degrees tilted to the left. Like, the constant battering of rain and occasional bouts of wind are resulting in the ship being driven heavily off course. The question is, by exactly how much? So, you said, like 30 degree, like basically just southwest, like something like this. Mm-hmm. Okay. Then that is going to result in, let me check something.
20 miles in buffer.
Okay. All right, you guys begin to travel throughout the day. And for basically from when you leave the coast in the morning till, the evening comes, you do not see land, which begins to get some people in the crew very nervous because, if you're moving average speed of the ship, you should have gotten to the far shore around midday. Now, obviously, you're not going average speed. You're moving slower than average because of the rain and the wind. But it isn't until a little bit, like a couple hours before nightfall, that you see your first bit of land. And it's this long sort of peninsula jutting out from the surrounding terrain. But luckily, as a couple more hours continue, you guys eventually fully reach that peninsula and sort of curve about a little bit around it. So you find a peninsula, you travel the ship around to its far side, and by then, you're exhausted. Adrian, your arms are killing you. Kaheen, you have literally, you just, there's nowhere else to navigate because the ship's not moving quick enough. And you just call it quits for the day. You traveled about 7.5 hours, and you can see land now. Pog.
I figured I was asleep through a lot of the day because.
That's true. I would imagine so. Yeah, it's not like you can do anything once you've given the navigational rules.
Alex.
I'm gonna wake up, see land, be happy, work out.
W.
I still have to choose a bosun's mate, right?
Yeah, your last one is dead/missing.
Yeah. So who am I allowed to choose from?
Anyone in the crew that isn't already an officer.
Anyone in the crew?
That isn't already an officer.
Can't
just as a reminder of what the bosun's mate does, they can assist other officers in doing short rest activities, and they give a +2 when they assist them. So they're just like a little +2 gremlin.
Okay, is there
You have to pick one of the top
anyone?
men.
Pick one from top men.
You just like that they're
Actually, you
called
should probably
top
pick somebody with. You should probably pick somebody with a player class. Maybe
All I know
Democritus.
is just no carpenter.
Democritus is
No,
not a
you
member of the
you don't have
crew.
to worry about it.
This is not a member of the crew.
Maybe Democritus though. Honestly, Crab might. Well, no, because nobody likes Crab.
Also,
I
Crab
am
already
not
has a
picking
job.
Crab.
Crab doesn't have a. Does he?
He's the surgeon's
Yeah,
assistant.
surgeon's assistant.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
It's
That's
he.
awesome.
Yeah, he would have
'Cause
preferred to
I'm
remain the
picking up
surgeon,
animals all
but
day.
yeah.
What is?
Just choose one of the
do I-
oarsmen.
Would I be? Yeah. Well,
You could.
my question is would I be close with any of the lower members
Well, I mean,
who would I
in your
know?
daily routine, you work a lot with the carpenter's crew and a bit with the afterguard. Half the carpenter's crew is gone. So, I mean, Alexander Beach, Patrick Elm, both of those have been on the ship since the first voyage. Loey, Colton, and Ustrid Milkai have both been on the crew since the previous... I'm sorry, I think Ustrid was in a different position, but he's still been on the crew. Those two have been on the crew for a long time. Most of the oarsmen, I just don't know. I don't think you would. Because as much as the ship of the Defiance tries to be this cool, like, private thing that isn't like government ships, the oarsmen are treated like absolute dog water. So, yeah.
Yeah. Who is how would I know Loey?
So Loey and Ustrid are both the afterguard of the ship. It is their job to maintain everything on the back half of the ship. So that's cleaning windows, that's fixing up boards, that's cleaning up the captain's office, making sure no one enters the captain's office when it's being used. Essentially everything having to do with the last quarter of the ship. And since your job is overall maintenance, they do, a quarter of the work. So you're their
Okay.
boss.
Isn't that also just true for the forecastlemen, just on the forefront of the ship, and
Yeah.
the topmen and the...
Except the forecastlemen also manage the ballista, so they're a bit more like military minded.
Got it.
And then the top men
Right.
handle the sails.
Well, Ustrid's use of opioids kind of puts me off.
What? That's his most based feature.
No. So, alright. I guess I'll...
We could also just continue, and you can like be thinking about it during the journey.
True. Until you do
Yeah,
another travel, like slow day of travel, it doesn't really matter who the bosun's mate is.
Yeah, fair.
Okay. You can also do interviews,
yeah, I'll leave
talk
it
to
to
people, figure it out. All right. Cool.
Just don't pick the
I think I'll
Hazood.
do that. Do some interviews.
Jesus Christ. Svensson, who is the lookout for the ship? I believe you assigned combat roles in the event that, you encounter another vessel. Do you remember who the lookout was?
It was someone with an absurdly high, passive perception, I think.
So it'd either be Kaheen or Georg.
I think I was something else.
I think you were
wanted
the
to
Night
look
Watch
out.
captain.
Yeah, I think it was.
I thought I
Gale.
got like navigator or something,
Oh.
That was my
or like steering
Well,
the.
yeah, let me double check. So
Where
in
did he go
combat, there's captain, pilot, lookout. Oh, I think pilot was probably the one for. No, I don't know.
Yeah, I think I got
Lookout.
pilot.
Okay. Well then, cool. So you guys rest. There is no short rest since you guys did a normal day of travel. Obviously, you do sleep, but no short rest is given. Some members of the crew stay up a little bit later, sort of encroaching into Night Watch territory, because Democritus actually found a story they like hearing. He tells them the epic poem of the Hound of Apar, a nobleman who fought to defend his city, and specifically when he terrorized a unit of soldiers, slowly killing them in the night, putting them in these horrific positions until the entire unit broke and fled the area. The sailors quite like that one. But eventually they go to sleep, and all that's left on the deck is the Night Watch with Kaheen, Unios, Phylan something. Who Ben selected the previous session. But it's an uneventful night. Rain continues to pelt the deck until it sort of dies down in the evening, though it may come back the following morning. And you guys get some sleep. So, the following day, the weather has shifted, as it always does. Today, there's still rain. It's sort of like reduced to a drizzle, though, and there's a strong southwesterly wind.
Southwest.
Southwesterly,
Cool. That's probably good.
Could be, yeah.
All right. So,
Could also
Navtrack?
threaten to tear you out to sea. Yeah, first, where do we want to go?
well, I want to. So these nav checks would give me information about where I am, right?
Yes, they do assist you in pinpointing your location.
Then I always want to know that before you ask.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Alrighty, sounds good. Then yeah, make a navigator's tools check.
All right. That plus this.
And our
Too bad,
D4.
not too bad.
Alrighty, so that is a 23.
Not ones.
Yeah. So the main benefit that you have now is being able to figure out your latitude. I'm pretty sure that's the right one. It's the uppy down lines, which I'm pretty sure is latitude.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can figure out latitude pretty easily by the
longitude.
longitude. You can figure out longitude pretty easily because of how the stars slowly change as you move from east to west, and you can make very precise measurements and calculate that. So you are currently about 86 miles east of the city of Malapol, which I will put a label on because I'm now realizing you can't see that. There you go.
Okay. So I mean, here, you said we're at land, right?
Yeah, to your north is the Fey.
So I just want to follow my to my north. So the land that I see is to my north.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Well, regardless, then I just want the right side of the ship to be hugging the land, and then go.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, if we just want to follow land, that is shrimple as possible.
Unless, do you want to make any crazy skips, Ethan? I don't really know what it would be. I mean, I guess we could
there's not really.
I don't really know what it would do for us.
Like, it's not significant enough to.
Nah, we just make this skip.
It would shorten the journey.
Yeah, by what, 6 miles? So yeah, let's just follow land.
Okay. Yeah, you guys decide to follow land. This is the best form of navigation.
Bank a die.
Correct. Oh, that also banked a die. You banked a die from the first one.
Oh, cool. Can I bank another?
Yeah. Also, since I think you don't know exactly where you are, you can spend the day on the deck trying to figure that out. And you spend almost the entire day. You travel a lot of distance because you guys have a strong wind assisting you, or sorry, moderate wind assisting you. So you guys travel a good amount of distance, and you remain going northwest the entire time. I don't know if that helps in your
We remain going northwest.
Yeah,
northwest.
The entire time you are traveling northwest. For the first part of the day, you're going. Well, so the Defiance on average travels 90 miles. Weather conditions can alter that.
You said that we were 84 miles away.
86 of Malapol, yeah.
86.
Should not what?
We passed the
And then to
peninsula,
follow
so
land
I think we're over here
northwest?
somewhere.
Yeah, and then you guys spend
yeah.
you guys spent an entire day going
Yeah,
northwest, basically.
We must have been here then.
Yeah, because we crossed. That's what I remember. Remember, we passed
Okay,
over
cool.
a
Well, then that
peninsula.
works. That's fine.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh my
we
gosh,
passed
yeah,
over-
silly. I assumed we were in this harbor. We're actually down here. That
Yep.
makes sense.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah,
That's what I
good. Well, then
thought
that's
too,
great.
so.
Yeah. So yeah, you guys spend the day traveling northwest. I think by the end of the day you get a rough idea because you spend the evening pulling into a sort of inlet, which based on your maps would put you roughly at the base of that peninsula. Alrighty. We are going to cut back
We spent a long time traveling northwest.
the full day. Yeah.
The full day traveling northwest, and do we have an approximation of how many miles?
Probably give or take plus 10% or minus 10% of 90 miles, somewhere around there.
Oh, 90. Okay.
But we do need to cut a little bit earlier in the day, which may change a bit of these travel things, because at around 3 o'clock, as these, you guys got maybe a couple hours left to travel in the day. You won't be doing this much longer. Georg Wallace, as you are walking across the deck, surveying everything, one of the top men, a human that you guys just picked up from the city-state, he sort of scrambles down the rigging and hops onto the deck next to you and says, First mate, sir, I think we've spotted a ship. We can just see the top of its sails over the horizon.
Do I see it specifically?
From the deck of the ship, no. You could squint out towards the horizon, you don't see anything. But elevation, even just 10, 20 feet of it from the sails can help a lot in spotting things at the very edge of the horizon.
Can I make my way up there?
Yeah. The Vakla, the topman in question, can help you climb up the rigging of the ship, up into the tiny little crow's nest at the top of the sole mast of the Defiance. And alongside him, you squint to the edge of the horizon, and sure enough, you can see a ship very slowly working its way over the horizon. It seems to be a bit further out to sea than you guys are. You guys are right along the shore. They're a bit further out. Additionally, they have 2 sails, which is a bit notable, and slowly you can confirm over the next 30 seconds as you see the sails bob in the distance that there's a ship coming over the horizon, though it doesn't seem to be going straight at you, or it'd be emerging across the horizon a lot quicker.
I'ma go find Captain Adrian and tell him about it.
Adrian, the day's nearing its end. Where would you be at this time?
Well, have I eaten already?
You have had breakfast and lunch. Dinner is not yet served.
Oh, okay. Around this time, I'll be in the office.
All right, then, Georg, you can head down to the deck. head past the afterguard into the captain's cabin. Inside, Kaheen is sleeping. There is Crab, who is currently just like flipping through his own journal, and then there is the captain looking at the ledger of the ship. Speaking of ledger, Jackson, can you subtract the rations and grog and spices, please? Thank you. Anyways.
Grog, let's go.
Captain.
Oh, Georg, you remember that old cook we had, Rudy or whatever the fuck his name was, who served us rats?
Yes.
You know, he
actually.
was selling our actual food and pocketing the money. I've been looking at this recently.
Oh.
It's completely inept. Anyway,
Anyways, yes. We have spotted a ship over the horizon, and can I point it out from like?
No, it's still like it's since spotting it to now, it's been like 1 minute. So just now, it's just the very tips of the sails. You can't even see the vessel proper yet, so you certainly can't point it out.
You're probably
kind
gonna
of ship?
need 2 sails. Would I recognize? Did I see a flag?
There was a little speck of color in the distance, but it's so tiny that it was hard to make out. However, the 2 sails were triangular, which would indicate a Mythosian vessel of some sort.
Looks like a Mythosian vessel.
is she heading for us?
It's wasn't heading directly at us, no, but it's in the dirt. It's
Our
kinda like-
two-sailed. What's the significance of that versus one sail, perhaps?
It means they're likely a sailing-only vessel, meaning they don't have oarsmen.
Okay, but does that give credence to what kind of vessel they might be?
Well, if it's only 2 sails, that means you're not dealing with like a proper warship. Those would have 3 or more since they're Mythosian. You're not dealing with a galley because again, that would have 1 and oarsman. So you're probably dealing with some middle of the line private vessel, probably some sort of sailing ship or cargo vessel, maybe a low tier warship though. Who knows? You'd have to see the actual ship. And just because it's Mythosian doesn't mean it's owned by like the Mythosian state. It could just be a private vessel that was built in Mythosian.
Mythosian, you say?
Yes.
Sails. Run up the Mythosian flag
Okay.
and get the cannon cover over the ballista.
Get the what over the ballista?
The fake box that makes it look like a cannon, but it actually isn't.
Okay. Gonna go
Yeah,
find
you go to
people do that,
execute.
Yeah.
You go to the top men, tell them to raise the Mythosian flag. You guys lower the city-state one and raise a large red square with crossed yellow lines, which is the Mythosian merchant flag. You go to the box that Shaibon, your new master carpenter, built for you, and you cover up the ballista. The men who were previously meant to like operate it are just sort of like whistling and chilling at the front of the ship. And with all this buzz of activity, about a minute later, the main crew can spot the tip of the mast, and over the next 10 or 20 minutes, slowly this vessel comes into perspective. It is going southeast, so its sails are tilted pretty hard against the wind so that it can be going the opposite direction of you, but you're both perpendicular to the wind, so you both have like, unless something major changes, you guys are going to pass each other within a couple miles. You can also make out the flag, which makes it a Mythosian shipping vessel, which is same as yours, actually. It's red flag, yellow crossed lines. And it's riding low to the water. This thing is like, it must be near the absolute limit of how much this little vessel can carry because the water line is lapping up like pretty close to the like deck of the ship itself. Even to the edges of the ship, there are large crates that are tied to the edge of the ship so that they have additional storage capacity. There's 1 ballista at the front of the ship, and seeing all this, you know what type of ship it is. It is a cog, which is the sort of, it's not the standard long-range shipping vessel, that would be a hulk, but it is a pretty standard sailing vessel that is used all across the world.
Well, boys.
Oh no.
We are privateers after all. This is a Mythosian vessel.
And it has which flag?
I will. What was that?
It has which flag?
The Mythosian one.
No, theirs.
Yeah, the Mythosian.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, they're Mythosian, but we're city. Sorry, I thought you said that we're a Mythosian.
You are
Oh,
also
sorry.
that at the moment because you have a Mythosian flag over your
I
ship.
ran up. I had them
Got
run up the flag. I will assemble the senior officers then.
Yeah, within a couple minutes, the 5 of you plus the quartermaster's mate can be forming up in the captain's cabin. Vezio is on the top deck, and he's just waiting because at a moment's notice, he may need to go down to the armory and equip his marines.
Well, it looks like we've sighted a Mythosian cog. Is that what you said it was out?
Yeah.
Mythosian cog, single ballista, looks heavy, very heavy. So, wonder if we're all interested in going after her.
Yes.
What's the crew estimation on that, Alex?
Maximum crew would be 45, minimum would be 6.
What's like the average?
Like 16 to 20.
I suppose they would all fight, but most of them probably wouldn't be fighting men.
Yeah, depends, how wealthy the merchant is, but Marines should be less than like 4 or 5.
Okay. We have like what, 8? 6?
10. Oh, sorry, 8 after the city-state incident. No, 9? I don't know. Let me double check. You guys have 9 and Vezio.
Yep. It's definitely within the realm of possibility. Is she faster than us?
Yeah, I think that'll take a bit of math to figure out. The answer is yes, they are faster than you, but because you spotted them so far off and you have oars on your ship, you could probably intercept them.
Do we have the wind advantage on them?
No. It's perpendicular to both of you, and you approaching them would actually put you directly into the wind. It's only because of your oars that this is possible.
Yeah, that was.
I see.
Are they between us and the coast, or between us and open water?
You and open ocean.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so they would.
Oh, so we can chase them out to open water.
You could.
Well, what I'm thinking is they'd be very. They wouldn't want. They just wouldn't run that direction. Also, wouldn't it be directly upwind for them too?
Yeah.
Okay, so they wouldn't be able to go that direction.
Correct. They don't have oars, so they quite literally cannot do that approach.
Okay. Are galleys like ours traders at all?
Typically, yeah. I think galleys they're a vessel that is multi-purpose, warship, pirate ship, tradesman ship. They're used for all sorts of stuff.
All right. Oh, damn, that's what I should have done. Fuck. I just had a really good idea. I'll do that. We'll do that at the next one.
That field with no pirate flag.
Let me write that idea down first.
Yeah, wait, why don't we have a pirate flag?
No idea. You just didn't get one. Your default flag is the city-state flag, and you're not currently contracted as privateers, so...
Yeah, but they don't know that.
I know, I'm just saying, that's why you don't have a pirate flag, because you're not actual pirates. Unless you want to be, Smile.
Oh, no, to conceal. There we go.
He's reading the deep notes.
Yeah, and then... Alright, cool. That's an idea for later. Yeah, I'll just look at all the senior officers. We definitely can. The question is now, do we?
Am I at this meeting?
Yeah, everyone is there.
Even though I'm not a senior officer?
Yeah, you are. You're a master carpenter.
I'm there.
I didn't realize they were.
And, wait, your boss is there, so why not?
Nice.
Yeah, I'll look at Georg.
Wait, who's his boss?
Kaheen.
Oh,
I'm Jackson's
nice.
boss.
Georg.
Personally, I'll be down for it.
Sorry. Alright, Kaheen.
Better than the last plan. I condone it.
Alright, Rudel.
I don't see why not.
Ezio.
Vezio is on the top deck preparing the Marines. He is not in the...
Okay.
And most importantly, I fucking hate Mythosians.
Based! Right,
Captain Svensson screamed at the top of his lungs, "Base!"
Shabin?
Who does Shabin?
He fucked up your name so bad that you didn't even know he was talking to you.
What's your
Shaban.
name? How do you say that? Shaban.
Shaban.
There we go.
Shaban.
Shaban?
I mean, I was going to consider the risks of it, but it seems that there's very little, so I'm down for it.
Alright. Let's, Oh, and then I suppose Unios?
Looks like a gift to me.
That's that then.
All
I'll,
righty.
walk on out.
All right.
Yeah, you head out to the top deck.
How, if we wanted to get them to stop without a fight, what would be the normal way of doing it?
You could send a semaphore flag with some indication of, like, need help or want to parlay or things like that.
Want to parlay is a good one. We should do that.
All right. Yeah.
And
let's.
then we kill them.
Well, no. I have my set of rules, but. Oh
But
wait.
they're
Yeah, maybe.
misversion.
Real quick, I feel like before we do anything else, I feel like we should finally decide, like, what were those battle rules for the officers again?
The roles are captain, which is probably going to be Ethan, pilot, lookout, boatswain, gunner, carpenter, rigger.
I feel like those should be...
I believe I'm the pilot. I think that's what Ethan said.
Do you have good decks?
It doesn't matter the player's deck, it's the ship's
Oh.
decks. All that matters is do you have a sailing die proficiency, and all that requires is water vehicles.
Yeah. Yep. We have the boat.
Is there?
I made that an NPC. I'm pretty sure.
The boatswain? I don't know why you would make that an NPC, but you may have.
Oh, did I?
I don't
What's
have
the
water
boatswain?
vehicles.
The boatswain is just another word for bosun.
Yeah.
Someone had a good intimidation or persuasion check. It was.
Oh, that's maybe why you made an NPC, because David Cook and Democritus. I think you made Democritus the boatswain because he has like a 10 in intimidation.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Intimidation?
No, sorry, persuasion.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I only have a 5, but
What'd you say, Ben?
Is there a sheet that has all these rolls written down the combat?
Yes. I
Oh,
just
there it is.
popped it up.
I would like to make the argument that while mechanically it's a pretty good, outside of that, it's kind of insane to have
It is insane to
take
make a
over my
non-member
role.
of the crew. It is pretty wild to make a non-member of the crew the guy raising the morale of the ship in combat. That's pretty crazy.
But he just
Well,
told
people
that
do
good
like him.
story.
he some of them like him, yeah.
Alex, I don't have water vehicles, but I do have a sailing die, right?
No, if you don't have water vehicles, you do not have a sailing die for piloting.
I should have gotten water
Even,
vehicles.
even though it's half as much, I still have a +5 to persuasion. So,
Plus, you
That's
can
true,
use your
so-
spark of genius on that. So
yeah.
Unless more of the crew starts liking Democritus, so
Right. Ethan,
will be the boatswain. Yeah.
we should probably find a different pilot because I don't have a sailing die.
You know.
no.
because the die that I've been adding is the
Oh. That's
is
nifty.
from the after.
Well. Unios, do you have a roll?
I don't believe I have a sailing die.
You would get that from having water vehicles proficiency.
Water
Nope.
vehicles
Can I just
proficiency?
have
Alrighty.
that, Alex?
No,
Let's see.
Nope.
Who
you
else
can
do
start
we have?
training it though.
Who has one? Vizio has one. Okay.
The pilot really only matters in the event that, one, someone has to be there, and two, in the event that you come across difficult terrain, they have to make a check.
Yeah. You just said someone has to be there, right?
Correct. There has to be one person there, or no one's controlling the ship.
All right. What about the? What's the sailmaker doing?
Repairing a reserve sail that you guys have.
I mean, in combat. Would he be
Nothing.
Would he be fucking in the? Okay. Yep. He's the pilot now.
He does not have water vehicles proficiency.
Damn it! Why do all of these sailors not have water vehicles?
He's not a sailor. He's a sail maker.
He's a sailmaker. me.
Pick the actual sailors, like the forecastlemen or the top
okay,
men.
Yeah, I'll take fucking. Let's see, spin the dice here. Let's take the Iron Jaw because I like his name.
Great, perfect. Of course he has water vehicles proficiency. He's a
I
veteran
would hope
sailor.
so.
Yeah. He'll be he'll be honored even to be the pilot.
Oh, that's good. Why is he called Iron Jaw?
He had a very severe injury in which he was given a prosthetic jaw.
Hype. Dude, wait, that guy should be our captain. Why is Ethan?
No. Anyway,
Supposed to actually Axand Morgan.
That's an anime reference that I don't understand. Okay, cool. The other people we need are Lookout, which is already Georg, then Gunner.
Yep.
That one's pretty easy. You already have people assigned to that. And so that leaves the rest of the crew to do assist with rigging or carpentry. And, of course...
Did you choose a pilot?
Yes, you did. Iron Jaw.
Oh,
One of your top men. And for the rest of the crew, they're allowed to do other actions, but the ship only has a limited number, so, it's up to the captain on how to hand those out. So, how are we going to approach this vessel? By the way, now you can actually see, one of the top men will inform you, the name of the ship is called the Rockbud.
Rockbud.
Mm-hmm.
Only that meant anything to me.
We gotta sink these fuckers.
Yeah, so how do we approach it? So they are upwind of us, correct?
Yeah, well, no, not exactly. It's that currently you are both moving perpendicular to the wind, and that if you approach them, then you would be going upwind. So I guess that does mean upwind of you, but it's not exactly.
They are upwind of us.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, technically.
And are we on a converging path?
No, the closest you guys will pass is within a couple miles of each other.
Sorry, real quick, before we go through with this plan, I just want to ask a question to make sure we've thought it through. So we go up to them, we say, give us your loot. They say fine, they give us the loot. Let's say we're really thorough and we even kill all of them, right?
Jesus Christ.
We're not gonna do that if they surrender, for sure.
Okay. My point is, we're trying to dock in with Doja, right?
We
don't
have
enough
a
food
plan.
to get to the other side.
I thought we were just gonna kill them all.
We don't have enough food to get to Galadrim.
Why are we going to go in character? What the fuck? What is our goal right now?
To get to...
Long term, we're trying to get to Toussaint so that we can kill Lug Uzvaldun and the other guy.
Oh,
I don't remember us ever being given that task.
Oh, that is, the whole point of the game, to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I just don't remember us Lord Rothschild never contacted us about it.
We didn't. He
The
didn't.
task, yes.
But
I
that is the
suppose
thing
it's
we have
not
left to do.
normal to conduct piracy and then go and sail into the port of the
Yeah, the place that you stole from.
Well,
That is somewhat uncommon.
just because we don't kill them all doesn't mean we can't just fucks with their ship somehow so they can't make it back.
You can, but the crates will also come marked with, maker's
Yeah,
marks from
I'm saying
Mythosha
what
and
happens
things
when
like
they
that.
search our ship and they go, oh wow, why are there all these things that are, meant to get here from one of our shipping boats? Where are those guys? Because I'm just saying, it wouldn't be the first time that a Valorous campaign exploded upon a ship being searched.
Yeah, also having to do with, it wouldn't be the first time, normal due diligence killed an entire Valorous party.
So normally in a
maybe-
scenario like this, we take the loot and sail back to wherever we came from. and
Correct.
sell it
Or
there.
go to a neutral port, or go to a pirate port, or put them in go to the coast and put them in a giant pit in the ground and come back to in 6 years when the goods aren't hot anymore. Lots of options.
Also, they've got a lot of shit if they're being literally weighed down by it.
Probably upwards of 100 tons or more.
Is the nearest port Mythosian?
Yeah. Well, no, the nearest port is the city-state.
Yeah, other than going back.
Then yes, the nearest
What
port
about,
other
what
than the
about
city-state.
pirate honeypot?
You could indeed go there. That would take you past the Mythosian city, though, so you'd likely get searched on your way.
Oh, is
You
that
can't
like a
just-
is
you
that a
can't just
routine
sail
thing?
past the city without getting searched?
You can try to avoid Mythosian patrols, but yes, it is pretty standard for Mythosian ships to search any vessels that enter Mythosian waters.
Every single time you pass a city, you
No.
get searched again?
Not every time. It's just that it's basically like a cop, pulling someone over for speeding. It's like the captain of that Mythosian ship will think about do I really want to do this right now? Do I think they're looking suspicious? Do I think they could potentially be pirates? And then they'll just make a judgment call.
Well, I feel like we would get judged as definitely looking like pirates.
You do have a
Given that
warship.
none of us are Mithosian.
Also that.
Okay, yeah, maybe this isn't a good idea.
You could always just take it all and then go to the coast of the Feywood and go find a beach and put all your shit there.
Oh yeah, let's put in the Feywood, guys. Put bear treasure in the Feywood.
It'll totally be there when we
That'd
get
make
back.
a crazy campaign for someone trying to get it back, though.
This would like gigafuck us because we're not allowed back in the city state, and then we wouldn't be allowed in the dojo, which means we would have literally nowhere to dock before we ran.
Yeah, you just have to go across the Hammer's Fall with what you have.
Can we pull up the
Actually,
map?
Alex, can
Yeah,
I
we can
get
pull
roll
up the
map?
map.
I
Yeah,
want to
we
see
can
if
go
we
pull
can
up
make
the
it across the Hammer's Fall without food.
I think literally no. I think you calculated the stuff very like specifically.
I
so that
know,
you could get
but we've also been going faster than I thought we would.
That is true. That is true. You've been moving a bit quicker than
How many days of food do we have?
The Jackson question.
Also, do we burn through food slower now that we have fewer crewmates?
We have 31 days.
Technically, by a very small number, yes, but I'm not tracking it. I refuse.
That is an obnoxious amount of field tracking, yeah.
Alright, yeah, this
How
might
many
be a bad idea after all.
Yeah.
How many days,
This
Jackson?
is
31.
definitely a bad idea.
31.
Thank God we thought it through.
Yeah.
31's pretty good. Wait, hold on.
It's kind of
Wait,
cringe that
we-
you thought
we-
it
we-
through.
Here,
For how long?
where's this Smith Doja?
You've been at sea for 5 days.
5 days. We
Well,
have
this is your
31
5th day.
left.
We just haven't subtracted the thing yet.
We have 31 left.
You guys bought 35.
Yeah, I'm just saying. You know. Okay,
Oh,
we
5
already did
days
this
and you've
far.
gotten that far? Yeah, you moved very quickly
Yeah.
over these 5 days.
Yeah, guys,
Well, we did have a day where we just like moved twice the
Well,
speed because
yeah.
we were evading a warship.
Correct. You had 2 very good days, and the rest of it was very slow.
So you pull this jump, and then
That's an incredible jump. I'm not sure if we pull that jump.
yeah, but then you don't have to go into Mythdosia.
I see what Ben's saying.
yeah,
Like, you
but-
guys have moved roughly 300 miles in 5 days. There's
Yeah,
only
we
like
almost
another
got lost
1,000.
going through this. Like, I'm fine with like this, not that. Like this.
Okay, well,
not
fine.
that.
Then you do this. Point is that like you could maybe do this without ever going to Mythdosia.
Sure, but then we also might get searched along every path of the way there, wherein they also find the
Yeah.
goods.
Okay. I am fine to just not do a robbery.
Yeah, let's just not.
Oh,
Not
what
like we're
the
losing
fuck?
we will see about robbing someone on the way out of Mythdosia, not the way.
That's smart, yeah.
That's actually like very wise.
Okay, well, you guys
Yo,
do not...
Kahin's all here for robbery now.
Well,
They're
only if it's
Mythosians.
Mythosians.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, got it. Racism
Yeah,
policy.
I hate them because I was told to.
Alrighty. You
Yo,
guys,
America moment.
you choose not to, divert course and go intercept the rock bud. After a couple hours, they do pass at that close distance of 2 miles, and they send over a semaphore communication of, waving flags, and they say, "Lovely day, hope you're well." And then you guys pass each other, and you rather quickly lose sight of them. And
They were so kind.
Is there a semaphore for lick my butthole?
there is something close to that, which is do not communicate further.
Oh, yeah, I'm just not gonna. I'll just not respond.
All right, you send no
Giant
response
flag
back.
of the middle finger.
And you guys, dock in that little inlet. And that evening, as you guys are docked in this little inlet, some nasty weather's brewing. And Kahin, you don't tell this to the other members of the crew because they'll probably deride you. They did this similar thing happened when you were on the boat headed to Mythdosia, but you feel it in your bones that a storm is coming. And if you tell them, they'll probably make fun of you, so you keep it to yourself. But you feel in your bones. But for now, you take up your night watch. Oh, there's the list of night watch people. It is Unios, Crab, Kahin, Philo, Cord, and Vezio. So,
I forgot Crab was there.
yeah, never forget Crab. He doesn't forget you. So
Where did he even come from? Why is he here?
you should ask him, figure out his backstory.
Yeah, I think Riddle's gonna do that because it's only now dawned on him that he's just there for
Well,
some reason.
Yeah, the day is nearing its closure. The night watch is taken over. There's no more movement on the ship. A lot of people are trying to get some sleep, but you're still awake. So would you like to go find Crab?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can head up to the captain's quarters. He is still in there. He's sort of leaned back. He's petting his human cat, and he is flipping through pages. The book's like facing away from you, so you can't see what he's reading. But there's no label on the spine.
What's up, Crab?
See, the label just says like horribly fucked up ancient magic.
He looks up to you. Yes?
Aren't you on Night's Watch?
Yes, my ears are watching.
Oh. As I look down at the cat. Oh. You know, it recently just dawned on me that never really quite learned about you. I'd like to do so if you have a chance to chat.
He looks you up and down. Where's this coming from?
It really kind of just dawned on me, like, oh, who you are. Like, we've never really had an extensive talk, but I don't know, my curiosity, it pulled at me for some reason. I'd like to know more about you.
My name is Nasir.
And why are you here?
What do you mean?
Well, if I know wizards, they do much better, like, giving their offers elsewhere. I mean, you were doing quite well for yourself in the city-state, were you not?
I was offered a great quantity of money, yes.
And if that's the case, then my question stands: why are you here? Why are
He
you
closes
not
his
giving?
book. The greatest wizard to ever live was a Water Confederation arcanist named Haik Dashalmun. He, as a young man, was conscripted into the priesthood of my home city of Mahakam. And he was only discovered to be a wizard after nearly 20 years in the priesthood because they kept his magic hidden. To build up his magical abilities, he decided to go be an adventurer. Adventuring is dangerous, but you do not have the oppression of small-minded men keeping you contained. You can earn great amounts of wealth, and you can gain more magical acceleration in a couple of years of adventuring than in a lifetime of reading old dusty tomes in libraries that have been combed over for every useful ounce of information.
That is interesting. But if that's the case, why doesn't every wizard do that?
Because you can die.
Well,
Jeez.
that
so
is a
cool to see an
caveat.
NPC that like has to abide by player rules.
Oh, why us? Do we stand out in any way, or are we just another vessel?
No, you were the second ship that I joined. The first are all at the bottom of the ocean.
Oh.
Interesting.
Oh.
How was that?
A very nasty storm, and my master had a slip-up in his magic.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I believe he is still alive. There's nothing to apologize for.
Oh. Well, that's very nice then. What are your goals, though? What do you aspire to be?
Powerful.
Can't argue with that. Well, I guess that's all, but thank you for the conversation.
He reopens the book and pats the human cat, and you hear a noise exit those little human lips, like a purr, and it makes you a chill run down your spine.
One day is he gonna like replace the vocal cords of that cat so it just says hello?
Unfortunately, because it is his familiar, you know it can already talk. It just chooses not to, because people freak the fuck out when a human-faced cat starts talking to them.
I'm gonna roll over. All right, Crab, it's time to go wherever.
Yeah, you're trying to sleep.
Get out.
Yeah, Crab stands up, closes his book, and walks out to join the rest of the night watch.
Fuck, why is he so weird?
Sorry about that, Adrian.
Yeah, you guys all exit. Food and grog are given out today, consuming another day of rations.
Oh!
Yeah, you guys get soused, though not really because there's not enough alcohol and grog to souse you, but it's okay. It is what it is.
Oh, lame.
So Night Watch continues. The night continues to drag on. And just at about the midpoint of Night Watch, so around midnight, Philo Cord the topman, head of the topman, he will walk over with a little tray of tea. It is not Neftaran tea, which has its very unique tea culture. This is more standard city-state stuff, which is just like green leaf in a little baggie, no fancy porcelain dishes or anything. And he will offer some to Kaheen and Unios, and also Crab.
Sorry, what did I just get offered?
Tea.
I accept tea graciously.
I'll
What's
take
the youngest age it's acceptable to give someone grog?
Like 0.
Oh, okay, cool.
It's like probably safer than water.
It is
So-
safer than water, yeah.
Yeah. In fact, I'm kind of surprised that there's this much water drinking in Valorous to begin with. I thought that like a lot. I thought more characters should be like dying of E. coli or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, there is the whole thing of like paladins being immune to disease and being able to cure people with a touch, so that sort of eliminates most non-magical diseases from being epidemics.
I guess.
But anyways, yeah, the leaves are handed out, and you guys chill on the deck for another maybe 30 minutes, and then I need
Wait, is the tea
Unios. I think that it's fine. It's just not what Kaheen's used to. She's used to spicy teas, which are, you know, the sort of standard thing in Neftaran tea culture, and this is a much more drab, like, standard green tea.
Where
Would
did
a
it come from?
Delian like it?
It's from the city-state. So yeah, in the Delian League, this would actually be a bit unpotent, because in the Delian League, sweet tea is, like, the standard, especially for nobility, and this is not sweet at all. It's bitter.
All right. Well, I graciously accept and I smile, but I kind of drink it quickly.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Philo's just has like a communal pot, so if you take a little bit and you don't like it, that's fine. But yeah, about 30 minutes later, I need Unios to make a Wisdom saving throw and Kaheen to make a Constitution saving throw.
Excuse me?
You heard me.
Bro, what the fuck?
Alrighty. Kaheen, over the course of about 10 seconds, you begin to feel very, very tired, and then your vision goes black. Unios, from your perspective, you watch as Kaheen and Crab hit the deck and clearly fall asleep, though at first you think they're dead. And you realize, as you go to like move forward or say anything, you have no control over your body. You're sort of like just there, rigid. And then you begin to hear whispers in your head, and your body seems to begin to move of its own accord. You see Philo Cord, Samuel Pygott, another one of the crew members, Gideon Tompkin, neither of which are on night watch. The two of those emerge up from the lower hold, and you look around the ship, not of your own accord, your head sort of swiveling on its own. You see that Vezio is, for some reason, not on the top deck, and that means that the entire night watch is essentially incapacitated, or like you, it seems as if they have like very little control over their actions. They have this sort of glazed look on their eyes. And you are just sort of like a backseat, you know, sunken place viewer of your body and the other three men beginning to move the vessel. They raise the sail, they turn the wheel hard to be pointing towards the land. They do it slowly over the course of about 10 minutes, so it's not very audible to the crew. What is audible, though, is when the ship, moving with a strong force of wind behind it, slams its way up onto a sandbar. That noise, everyone, even those sleeping, like Shaiban, Rudel, and Adrian, you all hear this horrific sound as this scraping echoes across the ship. It is the sound of the keel being dragged against probably the seafloor. A horrific sound to hear at any times. And just as that happens, Unios, you feel this sort of like otherworldly force possessing you, let go completely, and the other three crew members that assisted in this sort of whole thing, they seem to sort of jerk forward and hit the deck.
Okay, I'm gonna.
On deck, on deck!
Yeah, Adrian, you rush out of your cabin.
We're all rushing out.
Yeah, Unios, you look up to the shore as the deck is swarmed with people. The shore is about 200 feet away. You guys are on a sandbar, like, you know, so you're in very shallow water, you know, it's like a foot deep, but it is still, you know, water. And out on the shore, you can see the Feywood.
Book it up to the tiller. Who's up there?
Currently on the deck are the sleeping bodies of Kaheen. Vezio is tucked behind some crates, and Crab. And then currently, like, half standing, half staggering, you see Philo Cord, Unios, Samuel Pygott, and Gideon Tompkins. So 4 of the, you know, of the crew.
Is one of them at the tiller?
Yes, that would be Unios.
Yeah, I'm gonna fucking body him out of the way and swing the tiller hard over to avoid the land.
Yeah, Unios, do you let yourself get pushed out of the way?
Yeah.
All right, you get shoved out of the way. Adrian, you go to swing it, but you realize that very little momentum was left in the ship. You kind of had already burned through most of the momentum. So you can turn the sail and turn the wheel really hard and make it slightly less worse, but the ship is like 95% on this sandbar. They built up a good amount of speed before slamming into it.
Fuck. All right, I'm gonna like immediately like take like some of the ropes and like get overboard and take like a look at the keel.
Yeah, your
that is, like, the
carpenters
biggest
join you.
concern.
Yeah, you head down. You see a
I'm
dozen.
also gonna join them.
All right, you guys are getting in ropes and tying them around yourselves, leaping over the edge. This is what the top men are for. They work. A couple people move the unconscious bodies of Kaheen and Vezio out of the way so they don't get trampled on during all the chaos.
You not wake up?
No, that's going to last for a lot longer. So the carpentry and bosun boys jump off the edge of the ship, ropes tied around their waist, and since the water's so shallow, they can almost get in and start feeling around the keel. And this is bad. It's very bad. So, Shaibon, I'd like you to roll a carpentry tool check to assess just how bad the damage is.
Alrighty,
I'm
any
gonna
additions
give
to it?
yeah,
Flash
I'm
of
Yes,
gonna
Flash of
give
Genius totally
two.
applies here.
Flash of Genius and my officer ability.
Oh, what's that one do?
Well, let's see what the bosun says.
Bosun. When a creature within 30 feet of line of sight of the bosun attempts a skill check or tool check that the bosun is proficient in, extra D4.
Okay.
Increase D6. Oh no, or D6 at 10. What level are you?
7.
Okay, so D6.
All right, so you get a plus. You get a D6 and a +4.
Wait, hold on. Isn't this a roll just to assess the damage?
Yeah,
Like, this doesn't decide the damage. So wait,
but it's just to figure out the full extent of it.
yeah, but given enough time, couldn't we do that anyway? I feel like we're not
Yeah.
going anywhere.
That is true.
Can
Given
you do
enough
the
time, you could
officer
do it.
abilities? How many? What is the limit to the
Officer, I
bosun's
think, is
officer?
limitless, if I recall correctly.
Okay,
I have-
so bro could
Yeah,
do
you know,
this
if
like.
it's-
Wait,
If it's limitless, we're
Blake, can you
fucking-
confirm that? The officer ability, is it limited?
It doesn't say. Yeah,
I'm trying to find where it is.
I found it, bosun. Yeah, so it literally just like is infinite, but as long as they have proficiency, they have to have proficiency in the
Yeah.
skill or tool.
Okay. Yeah, I mean so then roll
And
it.
you have
It's a
proficiency in
carpenter's
carpenter's tools,
plus
right?
4 plus 1d6. Oh yeah, do you have carpenter's tools proficiency?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Great. Then carpenter's tools plus 4 plus 1d6.
Yeah. 18.
Okay, cool. There should also be a plus 4 in there from Flash of Genius. But
Oh,
so
yeah.
22. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So there's a couple. So as you drape over the side and your other carpenters inspect the other sides of the ship, just real quick to cover Mujan's professional career. He's a city-state worker. He has never had to do field repairs, and rarely have you ever had to do them in such circumstances. The vessel you worked on are in like dry docks. They're not partially submerged on a sandbar. Plus, half your carpentry team is gone. But you do have the first mate and the bosun, who both have carpentry skills. And based on the number of broken boards and the fact that the lower level of the ship, where all the horsemen are, is already starting to partly flood, the rudder is snapped in half. This is going to take days and days to fix. The one blessing that you have for you is that the woods have plenty of trees that you can use to do this. But to fully process a trunk into anything usable for repairing a ship is going to take several days. So roll 1d4 plus 3.
Oh fuck.
Yeah.
Let's go.
It'll probably take 4 days to do the full repairs, and that's just to get the ship seaworthy. You guys took 42 damage to the ship, which is about half of its total health.
What the fuck happened, man?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're
I'm
gonna find that out. All right.
Talk to
I'll
the
lean
cap-
over the deck. How bad is it?
Real bad.
I'm gonna climb my.
Are we sinking?
No, we're
No.
not sinking. We can fix it in about 4 days. Luckily, we have access to good wood.
All right.
But the rudder is completely snapped and the keel is weak.
I love him. He's so good. The wood.
Wood.
All right. I'll turn around. Who's supposed to be on night watch?
I'm gonna tell him. It was us. The two collapsed. The rest of us were possessed.
The other 3 behind Unios are just they look really confused. More so than anything else.
Possessed?
Something came over us.
I'll look for Kaheen.
Yeah, you can see the surgeon has, in the intermittent minutes, the surgeon has taken possession of her and Crab's bodies. You're sort of like Weasley Mythosian guy, and he's currently overseeing their two bodies. He has cloth draped over her head, and he's feeling Crab's pulse, near some crates at the front of the ship.
I'll ask the surgeon that. It's not a normal sleep, is
He
it?
glances back. No, they've been administered some type of narcotic. I would guess mandrake root based on their heartbeats, but if we're unlucky, then it's something more deadly.
Alright.
Eric, who was it that gave us tea?
Philo Cord, one of the people who was possessed.
Who gave it to you?
I'm gonna say, he gave us some tea.
Who?
I'm gonna nod at Philo.
Yeah, he's currently like leaning against the railing of the ship, looking down at like the chunks, like small little pieces of wood floating away from the ship that were broken off, and he's just staring down into the water.
Philo,
He glances back a bit dazed. Yes, Captain.
what happened?
Something came over me shortly after we lowered anchor, sir. I felt like I couldn't control my body. I put something in some tea and gave it to the two of them, or to the officers. Oh, God. I raised the sail, too.
Was the same stuff in each tea, or was something special for those two?
No, it was just for those two that I put stuff in their drinks for some reason. I don't know why, but I didn't think it needed to happen for you.
Eric, do we know that Kaheen has magic abilities?
I believe it was discussed in the previous session that she has not shared that yet, right?
We don't know she's a druid.
No, only Ethan knows that I have, like
No one
notable
knows
magic.
she's a druid.
No.
No one knows
Only
I'm a druid.
Adrian
and
knows.
that I am
Sorry.
a caster, and even that, all he's really seen is cantrips.
I know she can
And-
do magic, which I don't think is that impressive because I can do magic.
True.
So,
You can?
it's... Oh yeah. Yep, I'm an Eldritch Knight.
Oh, hell. Although I don't know, you guys have seen me like I'm from a foreign land and I have
Oh,
a
also
magical memory, you guys have-
Vezio was also knocked unconscious. I forgot.
Who's Vezio?
Your Marine Sergeant?
Yarrow, bro?
Yarrow?
Oh, Yarrow.
Oh
yeah.
no.
However, his was not from
Yeah.
the surgeon will determine that this was done through a impact to the back of the head, not a T.
Oh shit.
Eric, is it normal to have mandrake or whatever it was on the ship?
No, it's a very potent. Well, I mean, technically it can be used for medicinal purposes, but I mean, the surgeon will sort of just say, like, "I've never brought the stuff with me. There's a good chance that when you give it to someone, they never wake up."
So
What?
we didn't buy it like when we were
Where did-
quartermaster.
No, of course we didn't buy it. I don't use that sedative.
I'll look at Philo. Is that who it is?
Yeah.
I see it was crab.
Where did you get the
Um.
stuff to put in the
So
tea?
I was on the top. I got it from the banister, sir, on the railing. It was just in there in a little paper pouch.
I'll look to wherever he's pointing.
Yeah, you can see a little, opened pouch of paper. There's nothing left in it, but
Is there an odor?
no, not particularly.
I'm not. Even if there was, I'm not fucking smelling it to find out.
Yeah, snort mandrake root, Pogman. At this point, the Marines have flooded onto the top of the ship. One of them sort of took of his own initiative. He took a key from Vezio, unlocked the armory. So there are 9 Marines with muskets on the deck of the ship, just looking out towards the shoreline.
Alright. You don't remember anything else? You just...
Philo shakes his head and says, "I heard whispering. That's the only other thing, but I couldn't make out what it was saying."
Not again.
Again? You don't think it's like the stuff up north, sir?
What's happened up north?
Hopefully not.
We've fought some things up north. I thought we killed them all. I thought you officers said you took care of that.
Could be different. Hopefully it's not. Besides, we don't have to stick around and find out. So,
Yes, sir. I don't know if I can be trusted to I mean, I know we don't have a brig, but
No. Wasn't your fault, son. No.
we sailors 7 years older than you will not.
Should I search the inside of the ship, sir?
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Alright.
What are you looking
See
for?
if there's anything. See if there's anything unusual. Get the entire crew to help you. What the fuck? Doesn't matter.
I mean, you guys got like 60 oarsmen that have nothing else to do, so.
There you go. Get the
Also,
fucking
us
oars
carpenters and bosun, I think, are gonna keep, doing some quick repairs.
Yes, you guys do what you need to do. Okay?
I don't
Can
trust
I?
the whole crew
I'm
is
gonna
the problem.
call Adrian to the side of the ship. I'm gonna shoot Adrian.
I'll peer my head over.
Yeah, Rudel and Shaibon are up to like mid-calf in water. Shaibon is ordering, his 2 carpenters to go get some trees cut down, and he's using replacement planks to like try to fix the parts of the hull that are leaking.
I was
Alright,
about
what
to
do you
say. These woods, you know them, yes?
They would?
Yes, sir. We might need some Marines to help us out.
Do we have
we
like
don't
a
wanna-
dinghy, Alex?
You have one, yeah.
A dinghy, a small boat. We have one. How many people can that fit?
8.
8. All right. Okay. Do you know how much wood you need?
Oh, do I?
No,
Could I make
who
an
the fuck
estimate on
knows?
that?
I mean, your
Oh,
guess would be one of these massive Feywood trees, but you probably don't even want to cut one of those down and take too long, so you probably want to get some smaller trees. At this point, you're just focused on repairing the immediate damage. The rudder is the main problem. To get another new rudder, that's going to take a whole-ass, big-ass tree.
We can,
Do you
basically.
need to beach her, or can you do the repairs out here?
We could do emergency repairs, but the rudder is a whole other problem in of itself. If we're lucky, we can repair enough to get us to the next port.
Yeah. Do you need to beach the ship to do that or not?
Would we, Alex?
The ship is actually in a remarkably good spot for repairs. This sandbar is pretty soft. It probably won't inflict further damage on the ship. And the rudder is partially hanging off the sandbar. That's why it snapped. It's because the rudder hit the sandbar and the bottom half just snapped away. So actually, yeah, you could do the full repairs of everything right here on the sandbar. If all the places to crash, this was a pretty damn good one.
Well, maybe that was intentional.
Okay.
Some magicness is happening.
All right.
Magic.
Point being,
magic.
we
Okay,
can't
send,
lose. We can't lose what little carpenters we have left. That's gonna be terrible.
Send one of your carpenters with 4 oarsmen and 3 marines to the shore to get whatever wood we need.
Got
I'll
it.
turn and point to 3 of the marines.
Yeah, they'll nod. Even though they're sergeants down, all these are veteran soldiers, so they won't follow orders.
Fully armed. You're not helping. Just guarding. All right.
They nod.
All right.
I'll send someone to get 4 of those.
Alrighty, I'm gonna quickly
Shaibon's
highlight the
the
people
head
that are doing
carpenter?
that.
Yeah, I'm the head carpenter.
Yeah, Shaibon is the head carpenter.
Yeah. So I'm taking Shaibon, those 3 guys, myself.
Oh, you're going to go
do
get
we-
the trees.
No, we only
Yeah.
got 8. There's only 8 slots on the boat.
Yeah, only
Yeah,
8 slots.
that's why
They're
I'm-
getting. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I feel like I should be doing the immediate repairs because I don't think those are done yet.
They're not. No.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, then you can
so-
send
You
those
can
8
join.
guys away to do that scouting mission while you guys repair the main hull.
Yeah, I'll be good.
Okay.
Dude,
Can I
fuck
run an
Keel.
investigation for looking for anything out of the ordinary?
Yeah. Roll me an investigation check. I have marked the names that are on shore with red, just so we, know.
Advantage?
Is-
Oh, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Is Aaron also helping us with
Oh
repairs?
yeah, Georg, what do you want to be doing in all this chaos? Do you want to be guarding the ship? Do you want to be searching the hull? Do you want to be joining the expedition, head to the shore? What do you want to do? Or repair the hull, of course.
I'll probably voice to join the expedition because it doesn't look like there's an officer on the expedition.
That is true. You could replace one of the Marines. You're much better in combat than they are.
Yeah, I'll voice that out.
Yeah, I'll send him. That's
Okay.
actually a good idea.
And
Especially
Aaron
if that's
can
going down.
lead that group. Okay. Unios, as you're I can't say words. As you're searching the hull, one of the oarsmen will point out that, he'll sort of bring you over to some boxes at the front. He's one of the debt slaves. You don't know his name. And he'll point to this fine lining of dust atop one of the crates. And it's not normal dust. It has this sort of slight teal luminescence to it. And it's in the shape of a circle with several lines crisscrossing it.
Go get the captain.
The oarsman will run off, and Adrian, as you're organizing the dinghy to be lowered, a debt slave is sort of standing off to your left, seems to be waiting for something.
What do you want?
The quartermaster's mate found something.
Oh, all right.
And,
Get someone to finish organizing that and head on down.
Yeah, Georg can finish up the rest.
Something. I'm fucking asleep.
Quartermaster's mate. Well, I would imagine you would have woken up by the sound of the keel, dragging across the seafloor, so...
You told me that I was still...
Oh, sorry, I forgot. No, I forgot that you got drugged. I thought that was someone else. Correct.
Okay, because I literally tuned out because I figured
No,
that I
that's
was
completely fine. No, you're fucked. Yeah, you're
haven't been
Rip Bozo. Yeah, roll up the pack, smoke it, Rip Bozo. Okay, anyways. Yeah, Adrian, you head down into the into the hold.
I don't
and...
want to metagame.
No, that's totally fair. No, you're correct. I just forgot. Yeah, Adrian, you head down into the hold, and you can find this little, strange teal luminescent dust in a circle with lines across it.
Well,
What
interesting.
do you think it is?
Does someone on the ship have an Arcana proficiency?
Crab and Kaheen.
I believe I do too.
Oh, okay. Then Rudel as well.
I do not.
Oh,
Okay,
Right?
just Crab and Rudel then.
Yeah, I do.
What? Do you?
Yeah, I do. I
Okay,
have a
then.
plus
Oh, also
7.
Democritus. Never forget Democritus. Never sleep on the homie.
Fucking what?
So did Democritus.
Do not trust Democritus.
So Rudel
Alright,
can step
go
off
get
to the side to
Crab.
do. Crab is
Could it be
out.
Democritus?
Crab is.
Yeah, Crab
So
is unconscious.
it's me or Democritus.
Yeah, it's Democritus or Rudel. And Democritus is currently on the top deck just absorbing all this.
Are you doing something right now, Rudel?
Yeah, repairing the ship.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I could step off to the side to look at it.
No,
but-
no.
It's like a 4-day thing. Let him take a look.
That's fair.
Yeah. It's
Sure,
a
sure,
4-day
Alex, can I go
repair.
find
Let
my
me
friend?
do
Am I
like
asleep or
10
not?
seconds of looking at a thing.
Yeah,
What'd you
can
say,
do
Ben?
that.
Alright.
Am I asleep or not?
You are asleep. I was incorrect.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah,
so I can keep tuning out.
Yeah, I forgot who exactly got drugged, but it's you and Crab, so you guys are out for a while.
Go get Rudel and Democritus.
Okay, yeah, we can zoom forward a bit. Rudel will step away from the emergency repairs. Georg, he's off leading that. So yeah, another one of the carpenters will step in and fill in the gap. And a couple minutes later, Rudel, you find yourself in the hold, holding up a torch alongside Democritus. Democritus is humming something to himself and writing down something on a little strip of paper as the two of you look upon the symbol, the circle with lines through it made out of this light teal dust.
Alright.
What is it? Beyond, well, I think it's magic. It's beyond my ability to identify.
Democritus continues to hum to himself.
Hey, focus.
He glances up. What? What do you want?
What is that?
Oh, it's a pixie circle.
What's that?
A focus for fey magic, of course. It's like you've never read the folio of Fays and Fiends.
Oh, you already.
How did it get here?
I don't know, probably a fey.
From the Fey Woods, but right next to you.
How do
He
we
shrugs. He waves you off and hums something and writes down a little note in his journal.
You seem to know an awful lot about the Fae. Do you want to get dropped off and left there?
He looks back up and says, well, I've never talked to one before. Well, other than that one. But, it could be a good opportunity.
Oh,
Well.
I see. You're too stupid for that threat to, fall.
He shrugs.
How do I get rid of it?
He takes his finger, grabs his walking stick, disturbs the dust slightly. Nothing happens. He shrugs.
Can I do an arcane check?
Yeah. What do you ask? What are you looking for?
I want to know like what this symbol is supposed to do.
Sure. Yeah, roll an Arcana check. Yeah, I mean, it is a pixie circle. That much helps. Specifically, what they are is it's sort of like a... Like, teleportation circle is a spell in which you have to spend a bunch of materia components to make this circle so that you can focus your teleport so you don't, phase into rocks or land in the sky or anything like that. A pixie circle is like that, but for Fey magics. It allows for Fey of tons of different types to concentrate their magics into a physical location without the chance of it doing nothing, like by landing in the middle of the ocean or something. So something or someone put this here so that they could concentrate magics aboard the Defiance.
So does that mean if we disturb it, then they'll have less power?
Correct. They may miss their spells entirely, but you still don't know how it got here in the first place. Maybe they could just put it back.
I do action lungs full of air and blow it away.
Yeah, it scatters to the wind, and it makes this really beautiful sort of like scintillating rainbow effect before it just sort of fully disperses into the air, and then it's gone.
How big are pixies normally? This is to Democritus and...
Oh, well, I mean, if we're dealing with a normal pixie, like the type mentioned in the folio, probably around this high, and he holds his fingers like 3 inches apart.
Brutal, how many places on this ship could a 3-inch tall creature hide?
Like a trillion? What the fuck are you... What kind of question is that?
Yeah, he just points at every single part of the ship.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Alright, well... Fucking...
Democritus, they're normally invisible, are they not?
Well, they can be, but the little buggers like to play with humans. Sometimes they'll reveal themselves just to go invisible again, stick objects to people's hands. They do all sorts of things like that.
Yes, they've caused quite a bit of trouble already.
Well, if there's pixies involved, we could be dealing with redcaps, or Ettermoggen, or a hag, or a unicorn, or perhaps a yakshash.
Those are all words, that's for sure. I'm sure they have meanings.
Well, he'll mumble to himself and walk away.
Well, Adrian, best course of action in my mind is get all those oarsmen looking for more of these symbols. Perhaps they'll concentrate wherever this thing is.
Alright. Maybe there's a chance they'll find it then.
Right.
All right. Well then.
Before I go, I'm gonna hand Adrian a gem of seeing.
Ooh.
And I'm gonna say I want that back.
What's this do?
Allows you to see invisible things, magical, anything. They'll show everything within a.
That seems very helpful.
3 charges for 10 minutes.
I'm gonna activate a charge now. That seems sensible.
Yeah, you tap a little button on the edge of this
No,
sort
sorry,
of.
I was asking for.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you okay
I
with
mean, yeah, I am.
Is it like 3 charges and it's gone, or like 3 charges?
No,
and you
it
wait till it's
recharges monthly at dawn.
gone? All right, cool.
This is like the perfect scenario for something like that, though.
Yeah.
Goddamn.
Yeah, you press in a mechanical button on the side of the, it's a little metal contraption shaped sort of like a spyglass. You press a button on the side, this sort of pulse of sort of light appears along the length of it, and then it returns back to normal. But now when you peer through the spyglass, everything looks the exact same.
Well, that's good, I suppose. Sort of hoping for that.
Yeah.
Let's fucking start looking.
Yeah, you begin to
Alright.
search the ship, and realizing you're going back to repairs.
Yeah.
Alrighty, then we're gonna cut to Kaheen. Up on the top deck, you experienced that immense level of drowsiness, and then you just sort of fell asleep. But now, Kaheen, you smell something. It's like a zap to your nostrils, and you sort of jolt awake, and there's the face of that strange Mythosan surgeon that you guys hired looming over you.
Ugh.
All right, how are you feeling?
How am I feeling? Am I like still groggy?
Yeah, very, very groggy. It feels like, you're hungover and also drunk, and your body has no energy, and your brain hurts.
Sad.
Yes, that's to be expected from mandrake root exposure. But you're awake now.
What?
A sedative.
Somebody poisoned me?
Yes, though not in the way that they intended to kill you. I would assume not, anyways. Mandrake root is only rarely fatal in those with allergies.
Was it the tea? Where is the fucker?
I don't know. You should speak to the captain regarding that if you're able to stand, anyways. I need to attend to the other patient. He sort of gestures over to Crab. And,
Alright, yeah, and
yeah, do you want to try to stand up?
I will try to stand up.
Yeah, you put your weight on your legs, and at first they buckle, but your second attempt to stand is a bit better. Your balance is fucking god-awful, but you can see Unios and Adrian exiting the lower hold of the ship, and Adrian has this, like, metal contraption pressed against his eye.
Good.
Oh, good, Kane, you're awake.
Well, I was poisoned.
Yeah, Faye.
You're
Something
good
was put in the
at
tea.
that.
Yeah,
Yes.
there's Faye about.
Bay?
Yeah, probably should have thought of that considering, you know, the Faye Woods. But, we're gonna have to start sailing farther away from shore. Oh, yeah, we
wait,
ran onto
what-
a sandbar. The keel might be cracked, might not be. Hopefully not. The rudder's destroyed.
Captain,
It is
can I speak to you
definitely
in private?
cracked.
We're looking for a pixie.
I'm
Captain, can I
looking
speak
for
to you
a
in private?
This sort of has a limited time on it. I get 10 minutes
Can
of
I-
seeing invisible things.
Fine. After that then.
After, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll go back to looking for invisible things.
Yeah, you go up and down through the ship, and as you're approaching the ballista, at the very, very tip of that, like, I don't know what it's called, but it's a long wooden spike extending from the front of the ship for the purposes of rigging, like where you tie all the ropes to that and string that to the sails. That one, yeah, of course. At the very, very tip of that, you see a small humanoid, about 3 inches tall, just sort of chilling. They're eating what looks to be like a little something, like grape or maybe. It's hard to see because it's very clearly invisible, and you see them as this sort of like ethereal, sort of like translucent imprint.
Can I sort of get the scene thing onto my musket as kind of like a scope and fucking blast the thing?
No, but you can keep it on your eye, and
Oh,
just
sure,
lower
yeah,
your
yeah,
eye
that
to the
works,
musket. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Make a shot.
Jesus, shooting a pixie. It only has like AC a trillion because it's like 3 inches tall.
It does have pretty high AC, yeah. Alright, the sound of a musket shot firing echoes across the ship. And, Adrian, that was on track to hit the little pixie. And then a little ball of this, like, blue energy, a shield, as it were, appears around the pixie. Your bullet ricochets off, and then the pixie disappears in a puff of mist.
Damn it!
How do we kill a pixie?
I almost got it.
Like, half the crew is staring at the captain who just shot the fucking bowsprit. It like blew off the tip of the ship.
Bullet ricochet, right?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, they saw a bullet like boom, ding, and then go flying off into the distance.
Shout off from like the
flash of
side of the
blue?
ship, like, don't destroy the ship anymore, please.
They used a shield. Would have fucking had it. Fucker. Hopefully that scared it off.
Definitely did not.
Well, I mean, it's not there anymore, so. Alright, alright.
Yeah, you reload your musket.
I'll prowl around the ship until the 10 minutes wears out.
Yeah, you head around the ship for another minute or two, and it burns the glass. I mean, the way you can tell it ceases to function is because it suddenly grows very, very hot, and you have to remove it from your eye socket. You're about to have some burned ass skin, and then there's a small little clicking noise, and the button resets to its original position.
Alright, I'll go find Kiki.
How
Yeah.
often can we use that?
3 times per month, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, what day is it?
It is the 13th. Oh, wait, no, it'd be the 14th because that second day of travel. It's the 14th.
Do you just, for simplicity's sake, have monthly items like that reset on the
First, yeah.
first?
So, Adrian, you head back to your cabin. Just to quickly pin down where everyone is, Shaiban and Rudo are repairing the ship. Unios is following Adrian up to the captain's cabin. Kahina is waiting in the captain's cabin, and Georg has finished organizing the little expedition, and he is at the head of a rowboat making its way to the woods at the moment. Okay, yeah, Adrian, you head up into the captain's quarters.
Is
All right,
Kahina
and I'm
there?
in there like, yeah, I'm in there like anxiously like pacing back and forth.
Almost had it, but fucking got away.
Captain, close the door.
Alright, I'll close the door.
I believe I know who poisoned me.
Other
Philo
than the pixie I just
Ford.
tried to shoot?
Pixie.
I told you it was Faye. I saw one on the bowsprit. Tried to
No,
shoot it, but it got away.
no, Captain, you don't understand. I drank a tea and then immediately fell asleep. It must have been laced with whatever root this is.
Yeah, mandrake root. Yeah.
Yes. And Philo gave me the tea.
Philo
Yeah,
was-
Philo was charmed by the pixie. We don't carry mandrake root.
Who was charmed by a pixie?
as was
Yes,
I and
okay.
Oh,
the other one.
You're not Jackson. Are you in here?
He is, yeah.
Oh, okay.
He was with the captain.
Oh.
Oh, I sort
Um,
of, yeah, sorry, I did not know that,
would you not have?
To speak alone? No, I would not have had to.
Oh, tragic. Rip
Unios.
Feels bad, man.
Yeah, Unios, one other one, they were charmed, gave you some tea. They took over the tiller, steered us off into nothingness.
What makes you think that there is a... Actually, Alex, I want to roll to see how much I know about pixies. Is that
Yeah.
nature?
Sure. Yeah, there are no Fey Woods in Al Sirah, but you were lucky enough to meet another Neftaran who had once visited Cavaranth in his youth. He'd lived amongst them for several years. And pixies are small, diminutive little creatures. Typically, they're not mean-spirited. They typically act altruistically, but very mischievously. They'll do shit that seems almost like bordering evil, but in the long term, it doesn't harm people that much, and they'll sometimes even give them boons and things like that. They don't
give
have the
boons?
ability to mentally dominate people, though. They can do all the other things described. Everything else can be done, but they don't have the ability to, like, puppet master human beings.
Oh. Okay. Captain, you know that I am inclined to know about magical things, yes?
I can cast spells, but I can do that too, so you haven't told me much else.
He says while eating jerky.
Yeah.
Wait, that's legitimately what
I know, I'm a genius.
Yes, he is tuned on jerky though, we'll say.
Let me
That is
see.
canonical now.
Adrian is so based.
Why do you think he's the captain?
So true.
Listen, I know quite a bit about pixies, and you say that somebody got controlled, dominated.
Yeah, like 3 people, I think.
That is not
They
something
have-
that pixies can do.
Oh. Really?
Yes. Why?
They,
Why do you keep saying that there's a pixie? Do you know of pixies?
I saw it. I don't know what to tell you. I
You saw it?
observed it. Yeah, I observed it.
Well, there's something greater going on then.
Oh,
Wait.
Maywood is
What
right
did you
there.
do when you see it? Did you try and speak to it?
No, I shot it.
You.
Why would I try and speak to it?
That's what that was.
Yeah,
Because
I was.
they are not evil.
This one seems to be.
No, they
fucked up the boat.
no, they are playful, and if you survive their game, they often help you, give you powerful magics.
Well, we survived, didn't we?
Yes, but then you're supposed to, talk to it, not shoot at it.
I didn't hit it, so doesn't seem to matter much now.
Oh.
Too based for our own good.
There's a loud thud noise against the captain's door.
Come in.
Vezio sort of walks in. He's bleeding from the head. He took a pretty nasty head wound, and he has a gritted teeth of immense anger, and he'll say, Captain, you're gonna have to take over the Marines. I can barely think straight. Surgeon says I got a concussion.
Oh. Yeah.
Alex,
well,
does healing word cure concussion?
No.
Magical healing?
Concussion
Okay,
is
what
one
about
of the lingering injuries. Lesser Restoration, I think, may. Let me double check.
I would think it would.
I think it does as well, yeah. Festering wound.
Damn.
Yeah,
Was concussion
that would
like
do
a
it.
known about thing in this time?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, hell yeah.
Now, whether historically in the 1500s they would have called them concussions, I'm not sure, but that collection of symptoms of brain damage was well known.
All right. All right, then I'm gonna. Is the door closed?
No. Vezio's
Okay.
like standing in the
Close the
doorway,
door.
clutching his head,
Yeah,
leaning against it.
Come in, close the door.
Yeah, he'll
I'll
walk
take
in
over
and like lean
the
down on the only chair in the room.
Yeah. Sit.
He sits down and sort of blinks, clutching his bald dome, his chrome dome, as it were.
Captain, you asked
Ow.
to see my magic,
sure, why not?
and then I'm gonna say, may I touch your head?
He nods.
All right, and then I'll put both my hands on his head, and I will cast Lesser Restoration.
Yeah, he only took like 1 damage, but the concussion that he suffered was what was really debilitating him, and that is cured. He sort of blinks a couple times. There's this fogginess in his head and this sort of like slackness to his posture that seem to almost immediately correct themselves. And he looks up at you, and he doesn't really say much, but he gives a nod of respect. And then he'll look to the captain. I'm going to organize the Marines, set up charms and
What?
something against whatever that evil was.
It's not
3
evil.
of them are on shore.
Well, could be.
All right. And he'll walk away, grumbling to himself.
Could be evil. A pixie is not evil, but it also cannot control somebody.
Well, this one definitely did.
Or there is something greater afoot.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a greater Fae. You know, we are right by the Fae Wood after all.
Yes. How long until we can move the ship again?
I think a few days. Send a few men
All right.
to grab some of the wood. So we need a new rudder. That'll take a
All right.
while.
The men should be careful and not venture too far into those woods.
I sent a few Marines with them. They'll be alright. But yeah, no exploring will be done. Nothing like that.
Very good.
Slowly, the sun will begin to rise, because this all happened around midnight, and full stock of where you're at can be taken. And honestly, once again, as Shai-Ban sort of figured out earlier, this is a great fucking place for this to all have happened. Because normally, when you're stuck in a cove like this, a rogue storm could roll in here, and that would just be finito for the Defiance. Especially in some harbors, like, they're fully exposed to the storm front. But based on the soft beaches here, and the steep trees, and the sort of cove-like nature of this area, even if a full raging storm struck the ocean, which, fun fact, because of the weather I rolled, it does. So, 2 miles out to sea, there is fucking mayhem and bedlam. A borderline monsoon is tearing up the open ocean, but a series of coves and inlets and steep cliffs, as well as tall trees, protects the Defiance from almost any of those effects of the storm. They just remain,
Thank God.
sitting on a sandbar.
That is
That'd
very
be such a funny end
Fae-like.
to the campaign.
What?
That would be. Oh wait, that is Faye-like. It saved us.
Oh,
Pulled a prank
Maybe.
of delaying us for 4 days, but in a place where it doesn't matter.
Yeah, we got to swerve a storm.
The water is also very shallow here. It's about a foot deep, which allows the carpentry crew to work almost 24/7 on the ship without like shitty circumstances. They don't have to be like holding their breath or beaching the ship fully. They can do work while also being standing in the water. There's also a great number of fish that go into this grotto, so you guys are able to stay ration neutral for your time here. Water will still be consumed, but if you're willing to go a bit into the woods in search of fresh water, then you could eliminate that need. It sounds like we're not going to do that though.
I don't think we need to do that, because our water, we were going to have a surplus anyways because we collect rain.
Correct. Yeah, when you guys, next time a big rainstorm drops, you're starting to actually acquire some empty barrels that you can fill with,
Yeah.
Wait,
water.
isn't that now? Isn't you just said big storm?
Yeah, out in the ocean. The storm doesn't reach this cove at all. You guys get occasional gusts of wind and little drizzles, but no actual, like, rainstorm.
Which is thank fuck.
Yeah, having a broken ship and then a storm would have been a bad combo.
That is honestly hilarious.
So at around noon, the work crews pause. The immediate leaking into the hull has stopped. Now the main task, which will take the rest of the time, is some repairing on the keel, like resealing it up, and then the rudder. The rudder is going to take so much time, and we're going to cut to Aaron, because for the rest of the crew, they're doing normal crew things. But Georg, you're in a sort of unique situation, which is the Feywood. We haven't explored we didn't explore the Feywoods in a really long time, so it's worth going over what these are again. The Feywood are forests that are primordial. There's tons of forests in Valeros, most of which have creepy nasties in them. The Feywood, though, are fundamentally a different type of thing. They are, depending on which wizard you talk to, a portal to another planet, a portal to another plane. They are, a sub-plane of Valeros. Who cares? The point is that they're filled with really scary shit, and Fey, most importantly. A whole class of creatures that are nothing like humans and just overflowing with magic. And the Feywood is chock full of them. They also have different rules, but, who cares? Either way, Georg, you and your little group will arrive at the shore. And
is this immediate? Because I'm going to send more people over there to be at the time.
You do not have a little boat.
The boat can just come back.
That is true. Who else do you want to send?
All of the Marines.
All of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, please no.
Who else?
There's stuff happening on the boat.
We don't think that's a good idea to protect the shore party as much as possible.
What about the rest of the entire boat?
There are. All right. No, I'll just send one Marine over there, so we have 4 and 4 then.
Okay, sounds good. Anyways, Aaron.
Yeah.
So your little dinghy arrives on shore, and the carpenter, Patrick Elm, will sort of take this first step onto this beach. There's like 50 feet of beach, and then these massive trees that some go as high as 200 feet. You've never seen anything quite like them. And Patrick Elm will look over you and say, well, I know they told me to go look for wood, but I'm not very comfortable out here, Georg. I mean, you know what they say about the Feywood.
It'll be alright. You got us. We're here to,
Well, you're a master carpenter, right? What if I stay with the boat, get one of those muskets from the Marines, and you go look around for a tree to cut down?
Ox, can I look around to see if there's just any tree, like, in the immediate...
Yeah,
vicinity?
You are a master carpenter, so you know roughly what Shaibon's gonna need, and the answer is no. These trees are actually too big. You don't have the tools to cut down something this large. You need something that's like 30 feet high, pretty thick trunk. You're looking for like a sycamore or like an alder. These are fucking bizarre, giga-huge trees, so you'd need to probably go deeper and try to find a new grove section of the forest that's like had a, what do you call those? Wildfire or something. This section is just too big.
Okay. And the expedition is just me.
It's
carpenter,
you,
and
the
3
carpenter, 4 Marines. The 4th one will arrive
4
shortly
Marines.
afterwards, yeah.
Alright.
Oh, and a couple
That's
of
fine.
oarsmen. 4 oarsmen as well for manual labor.
That's fine. Okay. That sounds fine.
Wait, what?
Wait.
Sorry, no, never mind.
What do you want to do?
The Marines have been instructed to follow the whoever's looking for the tree, by the way,
Yeah, of course.
into the paper.
I'm gonna keep one of the Marines with the party at the shore. Alright?
Okay.
I'll take
So-
3 Marines with me.
One Marine and a Carpenter at the boat, and then you and the...
Oh, and the oarsman.
Oh, okay. So just you and 3 Marines.
Yes.
Okay. Alrighty. Yeah, you begin to head into the woods. The moment you enter them, you take like 5 steps in, and you know what normal forests are supposed to feel like, because while, you know, you weren't a lumberjack, you did frequently, you know, go to check in on the state of providers for your shop, and, you know, you worked a lot with the woodcutting industry, and this forest feels wrong. You feel like you're being watched from the moment you step inside. The Marines
I guess the moment, before that, the moment I'll cast this, actually. I'll use the Crusader Mantle on me.
Okay, you lift... This comes from a short sword, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, you lift a short sword and mumble a prayer to, I believe, I don't remember what god it was devoted to, but you mumble, you know, a quick phrase, and your blades, as well as the muskets of the Marines with you, begin to exude this sort of slight warming glow. And one of the Marines will look at you with a raised eyebrow. I didn't know you were a spellcaster, sir.
I am not. It's just this special short sword I got.
All right, then.
Alright.
And you guys begin to head into the woods. And this is a weird question. What is Georg thinking about as he steps into the woods with the 3 Marines?
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Trees. Just
God, I could go for some more alcohol right now.
Yes, King. All right, you begin to walk through the woods, and almost instantly, you look behind you. Like, you've literally taken 50 steps into the woods. You look behind you, you can't see the shoreline. You just see more forest. And the 3 Marines, you know, sort of follow your gaze, and one of them instantly starts to get really nervous. You can see he's, like, sweating bullets. Horka will look at you and say, "How the hell are we gonna get back?"
Do I remember if have I explored like something similar to this before in a previous adventure?
No.
Where it was like no.
I mean, you've been in the Norwood, which had the cannibal trees. You've been to...
We walked in a straight line, right?
Yeah, straight line for 50 feet. Oh, sorry, that would have been Ugyak, not Horka. Horka's 16.
I'm gonna take a look around real quick.
Yeah.
Anything?
Yeah, you look around your immediate
Specific
area.
landmark.
And you notice you're in sort of like a glade, and the leaves around you are all these sort of like, they're sort of like cupped leaves that would catch moisture and stuff like that, and there's this clear liquid inside of them, and as you sort of, you know, crouch down and begin to try to look at the surrounding terrain, you smell alcohol.
What the fuck?
The clear liquid in the leaves smells like a fine vodka.
I'm gonna try thinking, man, I sure would like some alcohol on the shoreline with the oarsmen.
Okay. And then do you do anything?
And then I'll tell them to walk with me, and then we'll walk.
Okay.
Yes.
They start to walk with you. And a couple of moments later, you find yourself just walking into this large hedge. Like 1 second, you're looking behind you, there's just trees and shit, and then you walk forward, and then boom, there's a hedge, and you sort of stumble and tumble through it, and you find yourself on the beach about 1,000 feet to the west of where your little dinghy is.
Ah. Well.
3 Marines tumble out behind you.
From my observation, the force shifts to what you are currently thinking.
The Ugyak, you know, one of the Marines says, "You're telling me that goddamn forest is reading my mind?"
Yes.
We could
I
do
mean, the
something
leaves
with
smell
this.
like
What if we
fucking
just wish
alcohol.
for a fortune?
I honestly would not be that bad of an idea, but do you really trust the fae in the forest like that?
I mean, screw getting wood. If we get a small fortune of gold and then wish that we were back in the city-state, then we'll be millionaires. I mean, we don't need to worry about any of this.
Well, let's stick to the task at hand first, get the wood, and then maybe we can experiment. Well,
You see him furrow his brow.
There's no way to get back to the city-state if our boat's gonna be like that.
Yeah, but what if we just walk out of the woods and we're right next to the city-state? There's Fey Woods over there.
Wait, he's right.
Holy shit, based.
I think that is how
That
that
is
works.
an
Let's just wish for those other two guys dead.
that is an
Go home.
interesting thing that we could have done. Maybe you could bring it up with the captain, but captain.
Wait, is there Feywood in
get the
Tucson?
wood,
There is, yeah.
Get the wood. Come back.
Wait, no, there's not. There's it's in Estenia, no, Tucson.
Estenia? That's still pretty close.
Yeah, it's only just across the Midland Sea. Okay,
The-
so you
The
head
people
back
on
into the
dinghy
woods.
just like notice us.
They notice you pop out. Like the carpenter is looking from where you entered to where you exited, like over and over again, trying to square that circle because you're only gone for like a minute.
So-
All right.
They were just booking it, dude.
Yeah.
I'm
They were
gonna.
just speedy.
All right, we're gonna try again. We're gonna walk back to the dinghy,
Okay.
position ourselves, walk in a straight line again, but I'll think about like a tree that I can cut that would perfectly fit the fucking.
All right, you enter the woods, and we're gonna cut back to the crew. The days begin to drag on, and Adrian, shortly after your midday nap and a little bit of lunch provided by David Cook, you realize that Georg's little expedition is not back yet. You look to the shore, and you can see out there is the dinghy, and you can see two people sitting in it.
Like right off the ship, or
No, they're on the
On shore.
shoreline still. But it's just been a long time. It's been like 6 hours. No, you sent them out at like midnight, so it's been like 14 hours.
damn.
Yeah, you were busy through the morning with all the repairs, and then you took a midday nap, and now you're here.
It should definitely not take them this long, right?
I mean, if all they need to do is find a tree to cut down and then report that back to Shibon, no, it shouldn't take anywhere close to that long.
I'll go find Democritus.
All right, you head to the front of the ship where a couple of off-duty, well, mostly an off-duty carpenter and then two top men are sitting in front of him, and they wanted to hear the Hound of Apar story as well, so he's in the 33rd verse.
First, that makes more sense. Democritus?
He
I'm
looks
all
up
over my
very
head.
annoyed. Are you going to make a habit of interrupting my stories?
Do I pay your salary?
You pay me a pittance compared to my true salary.
Then yes, I am going to keep interrupting you if I wish. Do Feywood have any time changing abilities?
Did you have a mother?
You better be very careful with your next statement.
Well, did you?
Yes?
And did she not tell you fairy tales?
No?
That's very sad.
I suppose.
Well, then to answer your question, can I tell you a story?
Is it going to be longer than a minute? Because I have other things to do.
Significantly.
Then no, you may not.
You could also just ask Rudel.
Well, I suppose then to answer in less than 1 minute, I could say yes.
I'm going to go find Rudel.
You leave the front of the ship, get a rope, lower yourself to the edge. Rudel and Shibon are up to their calves in water. They're both examining the rudder right now. And you can splash over through the shallow water.
Rudel, can the Feywood affect time at all?
Let me think.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, it definitely can. With a 13, it definitely can.
It's been known to do that on occasion, yes.
Like
So
how
they
often?
could. Oh. Well, pretty often. More often than not, when you go in, it feels like you've been in there for a minute, and then it's been, what, hours, maybe even days. I don't doubt
Okay.
they've. Huh?
So the fact they haven't come back yet shouldn't be all that concerning. They've probably only been in there for like 2 actual minutes, not the 14
Yeah.
hours it's actually been.
Yeah. Well, judging by what we see over there, and I point towards the tree line, they're gonna have to go pretty far inward to get a tree that we actually kind of want. And so,
They've been gone 14 hours. They need to
yeah,
go that far in.
Well, to us, they've been gone 14 hours. To them, they've probably been gone like 30 minutes at most. So
Okay, yeah, that's what I was getting at. You were only slightly more helpful than the Pontus. Thanks. I'll pat him on the back and leave.
All right.
I'm gonna shake my head and look at Shaiban and be like, I don't get paid enough for this.
You splash
I mean,
in the
I hear
surf.
I mean, I think you get paid plenty if I'm being honest there.
You get paid more than me.
True. Actually true.
I forgot about that.
All right.
Fucking,
Well, we can open it up a bit. Does anyone except for Aaron want to do anything on the ship today?
Besides fixing or is it all as fixed as it can be before we get the tree?
No. There are tons of touch-ups you can do to the lower hull. You could basically spend the rest of today working on that if you want.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna make me and Shaiban do that.
I was gonna have Shaiban start working on the rudder because I think that's the thing
that is
take the
unfortunately
longest.
lacking materials.
Oh, that's right. We don't have wood.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alrighty. Yeah. Let's. We're absolutely carpenting.
Okay.
We're carpenting this shit up, bro.
Wait.
I would want to do something about this fairy stuff because, like, I feel like I have the right subject knowledge.
Yeah, I would agree.
Sorry, I was gonna ask Xander, what's Shaiban's intelligence?
17.
So
So +3 modifier.
Okay. We're gonna play mind chess while we do this.
What the fuck is mind chess? Is it not
No,
just
we're
dragon
not
chess?
playing. We're not playing the fucking D&D equivalent of mind magic. Like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I'm going to explain the rules of dragon chess.
No,
and then
I
I'm
know
going
the
to
rules
say
of dragon chess.
knight to E5.
I know the rules of dragon chess, and that's a rookie move. You start with pawn to
Ah, yes. Alright.
So this is what me and Shaiban are doing.
Guys, Pawn E7 is not a legal opening move for so many reasons. There's already a
I don't
pawn there
know
and
any of
white
the fucking
card.
board.
Ah,
rules.
yes, but it's
Also,
dragon
this is
chess,
dragon
Ben.
chess.
Yeah.
There's dragons in it. I'm not sure if you heard.
Checkmate. Anyways, Ben. Yeah, I think you are a bit of a... I mean, you do have abilities to help you with this.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. I just looked up Dragon Chess. I forgot that this game was cringe. It's so bad.
It is. It is.
I forgot that it actually sucks.
They did make an
Dragon
actual
chess?
version.
Aw, man.
Yeah, they made an actual version of it. That's a
There's an
three-dimensional...
actual version.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like its own. It's like 3 boards.
So,
It's
Is
horrible.
Pawn E7 like a...
No.
No, I'm sure it's still
No,
not
it's
a real
not.
move.
I don't think it is either. But either way.
Game.
Oh,
It's not
that's-
just chess reskin.
No, it's not just chess
Um,
reskin. But in Valoros it is, because 3D
yeah,
chess is
so-
cringe.
Alright, then instead, pawn to
Oh.
E5.
Oh! Anyways.
That's white.
Okay. That's a real move.
I see why Pawn E7 is not allowed.
Yeah.
No, sorry, that's not a real move. Sorry. It's not a real move.
Anyways,
It's
it
gonna
doesn't
be
matter. They're playing chess in their heads. They're very smart. They're like Sherlock in the BBC show. They're very cool.
Yeah.
What are you doing, Green?
You tell him, Alex.
I am American.
Okay. So I want to start. So the pixie was found up on the top deck, right?
On the very, very tippy tip of the ship, which, are we on the right page?
Yeah.
right now? We are, yeah.
Okay, and then I'm just gonna go onto the top deck, and is it like well populated? Are there a lot of people up there?
Yes.
Okay. What about the bottom deck?
There is 60 oarsmen down there.
Okay, and how many are on the top deck?
40, the other 40 members of the crew.
There's 100 of us. That's
There
right.
is no privacy anywhere on the ship, other than the captain's cabin.
Yeah. Keep forgetting that there's a lot of people and not a lot of ship.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna pace around the ship, and I'm gonna kind of mutter to myself in Druidic.
Okay.
And I'm going to be saying which hopefully everyone else will just think is Neftaren.
Presumably.
And I'm going to be saying in Druidic. Let's come up with a phrase here.
Say your full name.
I mean you no harm, Pixie. I only wish to speak, and I'm gonna repeat that for a little bit.
Yeah, you walk back and forth and say it on the deck. You know, as you do this, you think about pixies are not very combat focused. You know, they're not like soldiers. They're never fighting humans. And they're very, if they actually think they can get killed, they're very flitty. Like if wizards ever roll up to a town where pixies have been playing with the local population, they typically withdraw instantly because wizards can kill them pretty easily. There's even reasons to, because pixie dust is a magical component. So they're very flitty. So that, you know, you say this all, nothing responds, and you get the vibe that this pixie probably bounced when someone shot at it.
Okay. Let's see. What else would I do to investigate this then? Pray? How do you... I don't really know what to do when there's a fae in your midst. Can I...
The oarsmen were sent to find more of the symbols, so you could ask around to see if any more were found.
I'll do that. Yeah, I'll see if there's anything I can look at on the ship, talk to people.
Yeah, they will report that no symbols have been found. However, an iron coin was found on the steps leading up to the captain's cabin.
Oh, I'll take a look at that.
Yeah, it's an iron coin. It's sort of shaped like the size of a copper coin. On one side, it depicts what looks to be a little like hut in the woods, like a yurt, like a Mongolian yurt. And on the other side, it depicts an old woman's face.
That's not
okay.
good.
This is a hag coin. Well, okay, Alex, can I use out-of-game knowledge or...
Yeah, you can use out-of-game knowledge, but I think even Kaheen would recognize this, because for those in the know about matters of Fae, this is the calling card that hags readily provide because they like it. It freaks people out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's freaky.
That's not good.
Yeah, so that means that there is a hag that is at least spectating our ship. And actively attacking us.
Well, yeah, for the people that may not know, like, I don't know if Jackson knows.
Sorry. So here's what I know about this. So you can use like divination magic. Divination magic is easier if there's like a known object that you can use to like focus in on a location. And so one thing that like divination wizards, but also hags will do, is get like a specially crafted coin to them that they're very familiar with, so that then they can scry that coin instead of scry some person that they might be less familiar with. So at the very least, it can be used as a scrying thing. I think that hags can use it for a bit more. Alex, you can fill in stuff that I might have missed.
Yeah, hags can use it to communicate one way, like they can communicate to their subjects. Some warlocks will carry things similar to that, where like hags will give them object, like spellcasting focus could be a hag coin if your patron is a hag. They are basically a part of the hag, and it massively helps their magic.
Okay, then I'm going to step off of the ship so I can go out onto the sand.
Sure.
And I'm going to take this coin.
Okay.
And sorry, so there's a hut and just like a hag face, right?
An old woman's face, yeah.
A hag face.
I don't know if I call her a hag, that'd be kind of mean.
Okay, but she a hag though, for real.
Jeez.
I am not trying to be mean, that is
It's
like
fucked up,
her
man.
creature type. Not an argument. Okay, I want to say into it, what do you want with this ship? And I'll say it in Druidic.
Yeah.
Nothing?
No.
Damn it.
Didn't you say it was one-way communication?
I did say that, yeah.
I don't know. Oh, so they can communicate with me that way?
Correct.
Okay. Well, I wonder if they can scry it. Can Druidic do a thing where I, like, leave markings?
There is a written version of Druidic, yeah.
Yeah, and then I'm on sand, right? I'm on a sandy beach?
Currently, well, yeah, if you just hopped off the ship, then you're, like, up to your calves in water, but if you walk to the beach, then you could be on the beach.
Yeah, I'll walk to the beach carrying this coin again, and then I'll like, write with my finger in the sand, like, who are you?
Okay.
And then, like, hold the coin up above it so it can see it.
Yeah.
Nothing. Let me... Is this a good usage of an augury? Probably not. This sucks. let's see. Any ideas from the rest of y'all?
Where to possess
I
someone and
don't
ride
know
a
shit
knight?
about hags.
Anything about hags
I mean,
or pixies? Balthazar knew a pixie.
Did he? Who did Balthazar know?
Balthazar and the Chlamretha expedition met a pixie, but there was like some like weird kid following us that like couldn't talk, but like
Oh
kept
yeah,
leading
never
us out of
forget
trouble,
fist
and we were
emoji.
like, yeah.
I also remember
Um,
Balthazar getting his face turned to wood.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I think that was a hack. If I
Alex,
remember correctly. Some sort
No.
of fae.
It was some fae
no,
thing.
it was like a big tree creature.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
It was like a big evil tree in the Feywild. That expedition was so cool. Alex, since I'm in the know about Fey, would I know the rule about traveling in the Feywild and like thinking about stuff?
The thing is, right, the thinking helps, but the Feywild does actually have some physical laws. Like, you can't walk in...
Normal humans can't walk in one Feywood and pop out a different one. You can't walk for 10 minutes and pop out, 10 million miles away. So there are still some like physical laws regarding it. The main thing that it does is assist in navigation. And if you let your mind wander, it'll detract from navigation. So it's more of like a navigator's tool than it is like, just thinking and appearing somewhere.
Well, I'm good at those.
You are good with those.
I don't know what to do about this.
All right. Well,
Can I like roll a history check to see if I like know any stories about like people being hunted by hags or people like finding hags, or just if I know any good hag stories?
yeah, the most famous Al-Seranian story related to the hag is that of a Al-Seranian hero. He was very strong. He had won many battles for his city, fighting other cities' champions, but he wanted more strength, so he went to the Al-Kadush Mountains, where there was an old woman. She's never explicitly called a hag, but everything in the story is like hag-coded, as it were, so it's basically just a hag. And there, he found the old woman. He asked for strength. And she said, what about at the cost of your wife? And he said, yeah, fuck it, sure, give me strength. She said, what about at the cost of something that you don't know about? Like, you won't know what the true consequence. And he's like, yeah, don't care. And she said, what about the cost to your city itself? He's like, well, no, I'm not going to give up my city. And she said, okay, cool. Then we'll just go with the highest cost that you last admitted to, which is something that you don't know, and I'll give you strength. And so he got very, very strong. He returned to his city. He found that a famine had struck the city, and that the population, while not destroyed, was massively decimated, and the city, while it continued to exist for a couple more years because its champion could win any battle that he came across, it slowly withered away into the sands.
Cool. Did anybody here ask for anything stupid that they shouldn't have from a hag?
Unknowingly Georg sitting there, asking for alcohol.
Yeah, it's just asking for shit.
Give me booze.
Yeah, bro, he loves alcohol.
Alcoholism.
Just give me booze. Give me booze. I'll crash the ship.
Yeah, Aaron was DMing me. How do I torpedo this campaign for alcohol?
I don't think we're supposed to tell him that.
whole campaign went under, but I got Jaeger.
Yeah, hell yeah, bro. All right then.
Just like the
The
last
day's gonna drag on a bit longer. Just before dinner, the little dinghy will return with just the carpenter and the marine. And at the moment, the people that entered the woods, which I'm going to leave marked red, are MIA. They have not been seen, and that is just 3 Marines and Georg.
I'm gonna stay holding on to this coin.
Sounds good. Beyond that, construction on the ship is proceeding at a regular pace. The keel is now fully repaired. The leaks into the hold have been fixed, which is good because sleeping in, especially for the oarsmen, they'd be sleeping in water, which is bad for many, many reasons. Additionally, the surgeon has prepared a report for you, Adrian.
Oh, well, that's good. Okay.
He has figured out exactly what happened last night. I mean, you sort of got the vibe already, but he just wanted to figure out, like, how did, Vezio get hit on the head, for instance. So what he determined was that the first person to fall under this influence is Philo Cord. he walked up to the banister where he recovered a small batch of mandrake root, which had exactly 3 doses. He then split those doses, 1.5 each, between Kaheen and Crab, which is why they went down so hard. When mandrake root could sometimes just be used as a sedative, they were full on like asleep because they were overdosed. It couldn't have killed them, but a little bit more probably could have. So for Crab and Kaheen, it's simple. They drank the poison tea, they succumbed to the mandrake root, boom, asleep. They should have been asleep for several hours, upwards of a day potentially, but he just used smelling salts to zoom, wake him up. Vezio was just having a conversation with another one of the mind-controlled people, Patrick Elm. And then he got hit on the back of the head really fucking hard by a chunk of wood. And Vezio's a tough guy, he's a really strong fella. He's been known to take way worse blows than that. So the doctor can't exactly figure out why that would knock him down, and especially knock him out for that long. So he suspects that whatever the murder, this chunk of wood which was used to knock him out must be somewhere else. Because the guy who's mind controlled said he hit the guy with the chunk of wood and then left it on the deck. There is no chunk of wood anymore. So the surgeon suspects some weird shit happening there, but can't figure it out. And then, the rest of it is as you suspected. But he thinks the Vezio thing is really weird. And that's all.
Yeah, man. Fae are really odd.
They do be like that. Okay. So the end of the first night comes. We can subtract 1 ration of grog and 1 ration of spices. And... Okay.
Figuring out how long you're stuck in there for?
No, I was just checking something. Adrian, you wake up around midnight.
Okay.
Because you hear grunting outside your room, which is never a good sound to hear, because it's either someone doing something very inappropriate on the deck or fighting. So you stagger out of your cabin, open up the door, and you see Philo Cord, Samuel Pygott, and Gideon Tompkin. Those 3 are being held down by several Marines, 2 Marines each, and then off in the water, in the like 1-inch tall water, sprinting towards the shore, you can see 3 humanoid figures, but you can't make out who they are from this distance. They're about halfway to the shore already.
Fuck happened?
One of the Marines glances up and says, I don't know, sir. Captain Vezio and a couple others here went mad. They're sprinting towards the shore. They didn't speak to us.
Uh-oh, that's not good.
I'm awake, right?
Yeah, you can wake up to the sound of shout. Oh yeah, it's nighttime as well. Yeah, you were in the lower hold, trying to pinpoint your location, and all this was happening above. And so yeah, you can head up due to the racket.
Yeah, we gotta try and stop them. Try and signal to the shore, whoever's on shore, to stop them.
There's no one on shore. They came back to the ship when
I thought
evening
people were
fell.
working 24/7.
Well,
On the ship
okay,
itself, yes, but not on the shore.
Can we pursue them in the boat then? And
Yeah.
get there before they can?
Well, I don't know about that, but you can pursue them in the boat.
How deep is the water?
1 inch.
All the way to the shore?
Yeah.
Oh, damn. Okay. Yeah, let's try and pursue them.
Or sorry, not 1 inch, like 1 foot. But yeah, because you guys
try to
hop
run
down.
quickly through foot-deep water.
I mean, you can run pretty fast through foot deep water. Yeah.
You can't run normally.
No, not normally, but you can run pretty fucking fast. The foot is not that much water.
Eric, I was
yeah.
up too, right?
I'd imagine so, yeah.
So I'm a rogue. Maybe I could.
Oh yeah, bonus action dash.
Sure, but could you actually physically restrain them once you caught up to them alone?
Maybe one of the small ones.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you can hop over the edge of the boat. You'll have to climb down, and you guys can all begin to pursue. And I think that, pretty rapidly, amongst the 3 that are running to the shore, one will distinguish himself. He's in full plate armor. He'll peel ahead of the other 2, and he will, before you guys can even get to the shore, he will disappear into the woods. The other 2, though, are a lot slower, especially Gage.
The one in plate ran the fastest?
Yes, he's very strong and very fast.
Vezio?
Probably, yeah, considering it's blackened plate. Gage, though, he's not very fast at all, and I think that, as he hasn't reached the shore yet. Like, he's like 150 feet through this 1 foot tall water, and Unios, you're like 30 feet behind him. You recognize Gage, and he has this like dull, empty expression on his face as his body is just like pulling forward through the water. He's huffing and puffing.
I guess, is there any alternative to just tackling him?
I mean, do you got any ideas?
That's what I'm trying.
The captain
Knock
and
him out.
Kaheen are following behind in the little dinghy, so they'll be there in a couple seconds.
Yeah, I would tackle him.
Yeah, I'll tackle him.
All right, you leap forward, make a strength check. Wow. Okay. Gage got a natural 20, so he just, elbows you in the head. You're sort of stunned. You blink the pain out of your eyes as he continues to sprint. He's now reached the actual beach itself. Patrick Elm is a little, 5 feet ahead of him, and the two of them are starting to move a lot faster. But at around that time, Adrian and Kaheen, you guys beach the boat on the shore. They're 30 feet ahead of you.
They're 30 feet ahead of me.
Yeah, do you just want to sprint after and tackle, or?
No, I want to cast Thunder Wave.
Monka S. Are you going to kill them?
Monka
No, doesn't it paralyze them?
I think this one does 10 thunder damage.
Oh, that's it? It's just damage?
I mean, show spell description. On a failed save,
What am I thinking of that does?
they take thunder damage and they're pushed 10 feet away from you.
Oh, no, sorry, I don't want to do that. Sorry, I'm thinking of a different spell.
Yeah, you think of the cantrip that pulls or something.
There's some other thunder spell that just paralyzes people. I wish it was that one.
That would be good if it were that one.
I'll try and... Can I try and message to them to stop?
Sure.
Yeah, I do that.
Okay, yeah, you cast a cantrip as you continue to run forward. It does not work, and Gage and Patrick are basically 6 seconds from entering the woods. Though, Kaheen, did you want to do something in the previous?
Yeah, I'll just call out and Druidic let them go.
Ooh. Yeah, she's probably got enough hostages. Gage and Patrick will stop running, and they're sort of stop in their tracks and then stagger forward and hit the sand. And Patrick will be the first to sort of roll on his back and say, "Oh, Captain, was that you? I heard your voice in my head."
Oh, no, that was definitely not me, but it's me now.
Oh.
No, it was you. You messaged him.
Oh, that's what he meant. Yes, yeah, that was me.
Oh.
Yeah.
And he sort of pulls himself up and looks around, and he reaches a hand down to Gage, who takes it. He's huffing and puffing. Shit. That was unnerving.
Yeah, I'll bet.
What happened?
I just sort of woke up in my bunk and I heard this strange whispering, and then I didn't have control over myself. Vezio's in the woods. Sergeant Vezio.
Yes. Ah, shit. Alright, Alex, is there some way that I can, is there some, ritual to commune with Fae or something?
There is such magic to do that, specifically contact other plane, but you do not have access to it.
And no, weird, folk ritual about, drawing a big circle in the sand?
There
and,
are folk
singing a
rituals
song
for
or something?
contacting friendly house fae. You'll set up, offerings to them, and sometimes the brownies or pixies or sprites will show themselves, but this is not a friendly house fae.
Something is doing this, right?
Yeah, it's a hag. It's a hag.
Oh. Does it want something?
Don't know. Cannot talk to it. I'm gonna say I'm still holding this coin, right? I'll take out the coin.
You are.
And then I know that it can hear me because it listens to me before. So I'll say in Druidic again. Kind of just out to the forest.
Yeah.
What do you want?
A rustle of leaves echoes from inside the forest, and the four of you on the beach, 5 of you, because Unios is catching up with the guy that he had, all of you hear this voice. Enter.
Well, I'm compelled.
Good sell.
Why?
The woods remain silent.
All right, well, I say we go. I think we kind of have to. Yeah. They got too much of our crew. I'm not leaving them behind.
You don't want to go in with more of a squad?
Oh, no, I don't say we go in like immediately.
Oh, I thought you meant that as well.
No, sorry. I think we get the gang together.
That's absolutely what I thought you meant.
No, sorry. That's a bad idea. No, I'm saying we get the gang together and we go in there.
Well, you would be staying. Either you would
you
go
don't want
or
to
I
bring
would
the
stay,
druid
or
into the
I would
Feywild.
stay. Then I'll have to stay then.
Why?
I'm the captain, you're the first officer.
Yeah.
Well, the
So we
new
both
first
go.
officer after Georg disappeared.
No.
Okay, so you're just saying there has to be somebody because like chain of command.
Yeah, we can't. I suppose.
You should put Democritus in charge.
Who else is left?
Crab.
Me.
What? What are we
Brutal.
talking about?
Democritus.
No.
Wait, hold on. I had to leave for just a second.
Who will take over the ship? Because Adrian wants to do an expedition into the Feywood, and if he leaves, then there needs to be somebody in charge of the vessel.
All right. I suppose Rudel will be in charge while we're gone.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we do have
Wait.
to.
We don't want to actually. We don't want to bring Rudel.
He is one of your strongest people beyond Crab.
We think we're gonna be fighting this thing. Because I definitely don't.
Something.
Yeah, she's definitely
Well-
not gonna give them up.
Well, either way, you
Like-
need to make your way back to the ship. So
Yeah.
you can make your way back to the ship and figure out that a total of 6 people were entranced tonight and tried to make their way to the woods. 3 of them were intercepted by the skeletoned crew of Marines, as well as, well, not members of the Night Watch because they were already entranced. And then, obviously, Vezio made it into the woods. The other 2 were caught, so only Vezio is missing now. And if you want, in the wee hours of like 1 a.m. in the morning of the 15th, you can hold a meeting of officers and discuss that idea. So that would consist of Shaiban, Rudel, Unios, Kaheen, yourself, Crab. I think that's it. Oh, David Cook, because he's the cook.
Well, I think it wants us to go in.
Are you holding the meeting, or is it?
Yeah.
is this- Okay. Cool.
Yes.
Cool. Okay. It wants you to
Yeah.
enter these woods and. Oh. All right. Hold on. The fuck? Did you guys hear what it wanted?
What?
Did you guys hear what it
No.
wanted? Beyond
No.
just
I asked.
you to enter.
I specifically asked what it wanted, and it just said to enter. So, I say we do.
I'd imagine it will keep taking people until we enter, so might as well use the people we have now.
Well said.
I will go.
Who's taking?
I too.
Who will be taking care of the ship?
Crab sort of
Democracy.
speaks up and says, I can do it. The ship would be in good hands with me.
You could be of good use to us in there too, with your
I will never enter those woods. It is only a thing done by those with a death wish.
I thought you wanted to adventure and train your magics.
Yes. That relies on me being alive at the end of it all.
Strategic training.
Well, then the rest of us can go.
Well,
Oh,
Captain,
yeah.
I hope you survive.
Yeah, I'm,
I'll make sure to give you a couple of days.
Yeah, that's the other thing, is that time works differently in the Feywild, doesn't it?
Crab gives a nod. Be that as it
So what
may,
does
it's
it
not
keep
as if we
from
can
that
wait a
point?
year.
Can the what is it? Can the hag warp it? Is that an Arcana
Can the
check I
hag
can do?
warp it?
That is not an Arcana check. I think that we're reaching levels of
What does that
Feywood
mean?
knowledge that is beyond the average Arcanist. You need a specialist in the Feywood.
What does can the
Alright.
hag warp it mean?
Warp time is what he meant to say.
Okay.
Can the hag drop it low?
Bro, can the hag do the stanky leg? Oh shit.
The hag smash down.
Can the hag do it stanky? Do it jiggle?
No.
All right, so what is the expedition we want to send in the woods to recover our good friends?
Why'd you say it like that?
All player
Flans?
characters, I think, right?
Sounds good to me. Yeah.
Is there anybody else we want to bring?
Marketus.
Like- Yeah, no, we have. Yeah, wait. Let's actually try. And
No,
bring Democritus.
Democritus would be thrilled. He's always looking for new experiences to add to his
Yeah, let's bring
portfolio.
Democritus. High level bard. Why not?
Based.
So 4 of us going in.
Well, I think the current plan is it'll be more than 4, right? It'd be 5, because it'd be Adrian, Kaheen, Unios, Rudel, Shaiban, and Democritus.
Do we need?
I wouldn't be so
frontline
keen on.
Crab saying he's gonna leave, can't leave because we didn't leave the guy to fix
Yeah,
the
he
ship.
can't fucking. Yeah, he can't go anywhere.
Well, there's 2 carpenters still on the ship.
Yeah.
Take them.
They
Also,
they still
wait.
need a replacement rudder.
Yes.
Yes,
Also,
that is true.
there has been no wood returned yet.
Yeah, while
So-
in the woods, you guys should find Georg and get the rudder as
Yeah.
well.
No, that is like I think 80% of the reason Shaban is going in is just
Yeah,
because
he wants the
I'm
rudder.
gonna find the fucking wood myself. I need the goddamn rudder.
This kid's like, I don't know
Not
anything about a
returned.
hag,
They
but I
shall
know how to
get it
cut down a
myself.
tree, unlike these dudes.
Yeah, actually, unironically true. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's gonna go in there and just like expect to find them totally unharmed, trying to figure out how to cut down a tree.
Well, do you guys want to leave at 1 a.m. or do you want to sleep until normal human hours?
Nah, let's. Man,
I mean, if we sleep in for them, it's like, oh, they walked another foot. It's like,
I don't think they're going anywhere.
yeah.
All
We're not
right.
going
The
anywhere,
hag-
and also it's only like 2 minutes for them.
We should tell the hag that we're gonna be coming in, though.
We'll come
Okay,
at dawn or something.
Shaheen, speak to your coin.
Pause champ.
Boss champion?
We're championing.
Is he pissing? Is he muted? Is he dead?
Me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, what happened?
Ethan told you to speak to your coin.
Yeah,
Oh.
destroy the
Well,
coin.
No, I heard that and I started talking. I guess.
Okay.
Oh,
No, sorry. Yeah. I don't think that the coin is what hears me. The forest is. So, you want me to
Oh.
tell them that we come in the morning?
yeah.
Very well. So then I'll get off the boat and I'll go up to the edge of the forest again,
Yeah.
or maybe not like the edge, but just like on the sand out of the water.
Yeah.
And I'll call out in Druidic. We will do as you wish. Will you come in the morning?
All right. Cool.
Cool.
You guys get some rest. It's not very fruitful rest. I mean, it's a couple hours. There are still sounds of construction throughout the night as the other 2 carpenters continue to like repair up the hull and put pitch in areas. Oarsmen get very little sleep as they hear the sound of hammers and things like that. There's more than one shout of like, shut the fuck up from oarsmen to carpenters, but ultimately it's their job. So the night continues, and the following morning you guys get in the dinghy, and the 5 of you plus Democritus find yourselves on the beach. Democritus already has several new sheafs of paper ready.
Good for him.
He's so fucking excited. First person ever excited to encounter a hag.
Imagine the stories, though.
Well, also Job, because he wanted to fuck them. So that's 2 people excited to.
Huh?
Yeah, well, Job rightfully
Oh, yeah,
died.
Joe did.
That is true. Yeah. So who wants to take the first step into the woods?
Nope.
I'm the navigator. I'm happy to lead.
You're also the one that
Yeah,
speaks to
there
the
you go.
hag.
Should we
Yeah.
all like hold hands?
Cute.
That's actually not a bad idea. Hold hands
Yeah,
with the
I-
chain, so I can be in front.
Democritus will refuse to hold hands because he needs free hands to write.
Also,
Well,
I'd like
Democritus
to have a
is fighting
weapon
it lost in the
unsheathed.
Yeah.
We'll save 2.5 gold that way.
True.
Yeah.
True. All right, you guys head into the woods with Kaheen leading the way. Kaheen, you begin to walk into the woods, and after a couple steps,
you feel very disoriented. Like, you look behind you, there's woods. You look in front of you, there's woods. Then you take another step, and you see that just beyond a little, like, low-lying foliage, there's a trail in the woods. But it's not like a deer trail. It's a trail made of teeth.
Oh, great. Well, I'll follow that. And I will... Oh, God, sorry.
Yeah, as you step out onto the trail, it's made of human teeth, some beasts. Most of these teeth are bigger than, like, human teeth. And the trail continues behind you and goes forward in front of you.
Any that are, like, absurdly large, like, bigger than, like, bears or something?
Yeah, a couple of them are bigger than that. It looks like the molar of some giant size, like as big as an actual giant size teeth that form, like, the base of the thing, and then smaller teeth are put on top of it.
And when you say a trail, do you mean, like, breadcrumbs, like, sprinkling?
No.
Or, like, a paved thing made of
Like a
teeth?
paved thing.
Oh, yuck.
That's horrible.
Okay, I'm gonna follow it, thinking about my kidnapped friends.
So, Adrian, you step onto this teeth trail, and it's sort of, there's not like cement putting all these teeth in place. So when you step on it, the whole thing rattles a bit, because it's just loose teeth.
That's normal. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, of the 5 of you, I guess, Shaiban, how do you feel about this?
I'm honestly probably like terrified. Like, not much exposure to magic.
Yeah.
And now going right into the fucking den of a hag, and there's teeth all over the court. This is just like peak, like, what the fuck is happening for like a normal person?
That is true.
Peak, what the fuck is happening?
As you guys continue forward, I'm going to cut back to Georg. So, Georg, aka Aaron, you re-entered the woods thinking of booze plus a tree. You've taken about 50 steps, and you find yourself hearing something in the distance. You hear Rudo and Shaiban. You hear their voices. And you look off to the left, and you can see, parallel to the path that you were following, you can see 5 of your companions plus Democritus.
What the fuck? Hey, Rudo!
Yeah, you guys hear Georg shout at you.
What the fuck?
Brutal?
What the fuck are you guys doing over here?
Yeah, come over, please.
You've been gone for days.
Don't.
Well, not days, but a long time.
We've been gone
Day.
50 steps.
Day.
You've been gone like 2 days.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
Georg,
look
you-
up at the.
Out
Wait, I'm
loud.
gonna look up at the sky. Is it dark?
No, it's still bright.
The fuck you mean? It's bright as fuck.
Yeah, magic Feywood, bozo.
That's fair.
Holy shit, based. Yeah.
They
The-
would bozo.
The 3 Marines will follow you over to the trail, and you guys can reunite. You can touch, be like, is he real? And yeah, Georg is real, and he's just with you guys now. Plus 3 Marines.
Happy?
Did you get it in a good wood?
We entered and only walked 50 steps.
Oh, sorry. Not 3 Marines, 1 Marine.
1 minute.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's how many he went in with,
Well,
right?
No, he went in with 3.
Oh.
I'm gonna look around. Was it the Marine that talked about the riches?
Yeah, you look behind you, and you do a head count, and Ugyak, the one thinking of riches, is actually still with you. He's the one that, walks with you over to the trail. But Horka and Und, they were with you 30 seconds ago, and they're just not there.
Out of all the Marines that came in with me, I'm shocked that you're still here with me.
Ugyak looks at you and says, "What do you mean, sir? I'm motivated."
Motivated for riches, right?
Isn't that why we're all aboard the Defiance?
That is fair enough. What about the other 2?
I don't know, they were just behind me. And he shouts to the woods and he says, "Horka, Und!"
Are we all
I'm
still on the teeth
motivated.
trail?
Yeah.
Oh. Was
Alright,
this
let's keep
here
going.
We
when
need to find
you
Vertigo as well.
was this here when you first
Vertigo?
came? And I point at the teeth trail.
Yeah, Georg, you were a bit distracted when you were walking over and you look down and you see teeth. A whole paved trail of them.
Who was the guy with me?
Ugyak.
Yeah, I didn't happen to take a swig of the weird liquid on the tree when we were in that group, right?
No. You did
So that
smell it
means
for a
what
while, though.
What I'm seeing down here, down on the ground, is not my imagination. That's a lot
Ugyak
of
crouches
teeth.
down and picks up one of the teeth that looks like a baby tooth of a human. No, sir, I don't think you're hallucinating.
That's some fucked up shit. Anyways, what do you mean by Vezia? I thought Vezia was on the ship. More importantly, I thought you were all on the ship. What? What happened to
Like I
Vezio?
said, You've been gone for a while.
He was taken by a hag, which we are now going to talk to. Yeah.
Alright. Well, you guys begin to follow the trail of teeth. And, Georg, as you're walking, Democritus will sort of walk over to you and say, "So, you said it was only 50 steps for you, did you say?"
Yes.
Yeah. Do you take long steps?
No.
Interesting. And you don't know where those other two Marines went, the two young lads that followed you inside?
They were right behind me, but as you can tell, no, not really.
Do you suffer from glaucoma?
No.
No other eye conditions?
Not that I can.
Partial deafness?
No. I can hear you just fine.
All right. You can ask more about this later. We'll move on.
During the walk, I'm going to slide by Democritus. I'm going to say, he is a very veteran member of the crew, so he doesn't like to talk about it, but he does have a slight bit of dementia.
Democritus nods and jots something down in his notes.
Yeah.
So, the clack of shifting teeth and the occasional sound of wind is your only guide as you continue along the trail. Slowly, the trees thin, and since you're at the head, Kaheen, you see a large grassy field. The grass here is short, no taller than an inch or two. At the center of the field is a large yurt, big enough to accommodate half the crew of the Defiance. Smoke rises from the central opening. The structure itself is made of furs, clearly draped over some sort of bone frame. The bones forming the structure of the yurt are massive, 15 feet in length. Laughter can be heard from inside.
Does it look like the one on the coin?
Yeah.
Are the trees that have
Alright.
thinned around here harvestable?
Yeah, actually, at the edge of this clearing, you see a beautiful looking sycamore.
We are here.
I can see that.
The plan. I'll get a. I want to speak to the captain, kind of, or direct this at him. Do we intend to go in fighting, or try and speak first?
Sounds like speaking is the way to go. It seems appropriate way sometimes, and you can always revert to fighting if that doesn't work.
I agree.
All right then.
All right.
Let's go in all nice.
From the little hags, this is to the group. They can be temperamental. Everyone be on your best behavior. And then I'll kind of lead the group forward towards the yurt.
Yeah, we got a group of 8 people now. The 6 of you, including Georg, plus Democritus, plus a Marine. And as you get closer, there's these 2 large furs, like these 2 large pelts that you need to part to enter the yurt.
I will do that.
All right. You head inside. The interior of the yurt is warm, and it's only lit by torches. The smell of smoke and booze suffuses the air. At the center of the area is a fire, around which sit Vezio, Horka, and Ond. Beside them are bottles of drink, rolled up canab, and various wooden plates filled with meats and berries. However, sitting between Vezio and Ond is another figure entirely. Vaguely feminine, with red skin and curled horns, she looks like a demon. However, a strange, shaggy smile is spread across her face, and her eyes have the same expression of the crew members around her.
Me.
Hello.
She looks up, and she gestures at a open pillow near the fire.
A pillow?
A pillow.
Like to sit on?
I'll
Yeah.
take a seat.
Yeah, I'll go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rudel sits. Kaheen sits. Do any of the players deny the hospitality of the woman?
No.
think I'm a Sith. I think.
I'll
I think when Kaheen said it was temperamental, it feels like it was a bad idea to not sit.
Yeah. The woman will reach into the earth beside her, and her hand will, break straight through the dirt, and it will emerge a moment later with a large tankard with the top sort of sealed with it's like a ceramic tankard with a closed top, and she will place it in between, like in the middle between Kaheen and Unios at the center of these new arrivals. A fine ale from Skalak Kamal.
We are not thirsty.
You would deny hospitality?
Simply not
I'll
thirsty.
take it and indulge.
Yeah, it tastes like seawater plus honey, which is a weird combination, but you don't hate it. It's not the worst thing in the world.
I'll be like, may my other friends indulge.
It is for you all.
Yeah.
I'll hand it to
I-
Georg first and be like, it's not bad.
Is it alcohol?
It is indeed slightly alcoholic.
Yo, I'll take a deep swig.
Yeah, you drink like half the pitcher before, like, Crab, no, it was Democritus pats you on the shoulder and say, I think she wants all of us to partake, not just you.
Right. Sorry, got ahead of myself.
Democritus will take a couple sips and hand it to Adrian.
Alcoholism will be there. I'll sniff it.
Smells salty.
I'll taste some.
Yeah, not bad.
Alright. It's not like quite as nice as the lobster one. I'll pass it on.
Yeah, you pass it on to the Marine, who will take a little sip and then hand it to Kaheen.
I'll turn to the hag and say, it has alcohol.
Yes.
I do not drink alcohol.
Then we will not
You
speak.
drink grog.
You may leave the abode.
I'll kind of like shrug and like give a big exhale and then have like a little sip.
Okay. Yeah, and it's not good. The grog aboard the ship has a very small amount of alcohol in it. So in comparison, this tastes like, full on liquor. But it's very sweet, not spicy at all, not your flavor palette in the slightest. And then all that's left is Unios.
Yeah, I'll take a sip.
After that,
Let's go. I didn't have to take a sip.
she will grab an item. This is from, near the fireplace. It is a joint of cannab, which is the Alceranian word for weed, cannabis. And she will hand that to Rudel.
Hold on. I
yeah.
just want to specify that I will have also drank. 'cause
Yes.
I don't think it was passed to me.
Oh, okay.
A joint you shall smoke.
Yeah, I mean, does anyone resist smoking the cannab?
No, that one
Yeah.
I'll actually take.
I'll look to
The
I'll
massive
look to
doobie.
her. Okay, I'll look to her and say, may I partake?
Yes. You all must.
And then I will smoke that doobie, y'all.
Dude, the
Yeah.
true nightmare blunt rotation. The hag.
This sounds awesome. Dude, I would totally like
Smoke
rip
with a hag?
Yeah.
With
Yeah.
a doobie like this. fuck
As you guys are
Yeah,
now
mention
a little bit
Barlow.
tipsy, well, Georg's leading in the drunk area, but you guys are mostly a little bit tipsy, a little bit high. Now the food trays come out, and you saw them earlier. They were near your fellow crew members, and it looked fine. But now it's looking real good, real tasty.
Oh, God.
Vezio has not communicated since you entered, which is a little bit weird. But maybe he's just in another plane of existence right now mentally.
Yeah, that boy zooted.
So she will hand out plates of meat to all of you, very well cooked.
Cool.
You say very well cooked. You mean like tasty or like
No, it's tasty. Yeah.
I'll kind of pick at it.
Yeah, you pick what you think is like a drum bone, maybe, and eat a little bit of that. After the final person is eaten, the hag will sort of place her head on her hands, and she'll say, "You may call me Chlamretha."
Chlamretha. All right, Chlamretha. It is nice to meet you.
Welcome.
People call me Taheen.
You have come here for your crew members.
That is correct.
There's a second reason why you are here. I am the one that beached your vessel.
Yes. I figured.
Her eyes pass over the other people assembled.
Luckily for you, it was a good cause. As I gazed into a mushroom circle, I saw the pattern of their placement, and I knew. Just as certain as a vulture knows where to find a bloated corpse, I knew to find you and save you from calamity. That calamity would have come in the form of a vessel, the Resolute. I saw in the circle that your ship would sink. Many of your crew would be food for the fishes. Others would shipwreck and be devoured by my kin within these woods. Only one of your crew would survive. Tall and dark-skinned, he made it to the Resolute and gave over his arms. This was to be, but I prevented it. So now you must return the favor. An oath is needed.
I will do it.
You will all do it.
An oath of what kind?
I just came here for some trees, man.
An oath.
A warlock patronage.
Of blood for blood. I have saved your lives, so you will do a very important task for me.
All right.
What is the task?
The oath shall be made first.
If I may, may I offer something else? Those who are not willing may walk.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Guys, this is fine. This is literally what, sending us to go kill more people? That's like
You know
what we're
what?
already doing.
Unironically true, and there'd be no point in sending us to kill someone we obviously couldn't kill. 'Cause, like, why? So, yeah.
We're already being sent
Yeah.
to someone.
I don't
to
think
kill
that's the
someone
thing is
we
Hags are intelligent enough to not give us a quest that we can't complete. So I think that this is fine. And it sounds like she actually did save us.
I bet we're gonna have to kill our crew.
Oh. Maybe.
I find that unlikely.
Because then we
Alright,
couldn't do it.
let's
Oh no, wait.
let's
sorry,
do
we
it.
could
Who amongst you can lie well?
I'll raise my hand. Well, actually,
Yes,
we are all
very
rogues. We are all
I
rogues. I'm a
can't-
drug.
Yeah.
I would say,
I've got bad
isn't
deception.
Democritus the best
Yeah,
at
actually-
deception?
Yeah, I wouldn't trust Democritus.
Her red eyes pass from face to face.
You have
I am
said several
visibly
names.
nervous.
I require one.
Oh, psych, my deception is bad. Don't look at me.
I've got a -1, so
I think her eyes will come to rest on Democritus then, and he is furiously writing something, sketching something, and he'll look up and say, well, I've lied once or twice, and then he'll disappear in a puff of smoke.
Oh, my God!
Oh!
Yeah, I'll do
Chlamretha.
now.
Chlamretha will nod and say, he is safe, but liars are not needed for this task. You must be truthful and earnest. Now,
all right.
I'll
the
do
oath is a
anything
simple one. You will pledge to do a single service for me, and in exchange, I will spare those 3 here whose lives are all but mine, and I will send you back to your vessel.
Is those 3 Democritus and then the 2
No,
others?
she gestures at the 2 Marines in Vezio.
The 2 Marines and Vezio. Oh, okay.
What about the wood that we need to repair the ship? Would you be able to let us chop the tree as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Very good. What's
Speak
the
the
oath?
words of the oath. I will serve Chlamretha for once, and she shall give me a gift. Those are the words.
I will serve
Serve
Chlamretha once,
Chlamretha
and she will give me a gift.
will give me a gift.
Does anyone resist saying the oath?
No.
Hesitant, but yeah, I'll say it in the end.
Yeah, I think you hesitate for a moment, and she's
Yeah,
big, by the
hold
way.
on.
She's a large-sized creature. She's like 9 feet tall,
Yeah.
and her
I'm
large
gonna
red
wait.
eyes will affix on you.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait, just like kind of look and see what happens to the people that pledged the oath before me.
Nothing.
All right, then I'll say it. I'll
After
pledge
you
the
all
oath, I'll
speak,
say-
she will nod, and she'll sort of wave her hand over the smoke of the fire, and it'll reform into what looks to be a path through the woods made of teeth. Follow this trail, and you will arrive at the glade of dewdrops. There, the Guardian will attempt to prevent your entry, but if you are earnest and honest and do not mention me or our pact, the Guardian will permit you entry. Once within the glade, say the phrase, "She who strips the bones may enter," and our pact will be finished.
Wait, sorry. Once we
So we
enter the
go
glade,
down to
all we
this-
must do is say a phrase
We have to get
Yes.
past the guard. We have, yeah. Okay.
and repeat the phrase for me.
She who strips the bones may enter.
Such
We
a-
are granting you passage into some place.
She says nothing. She just looks at you.
All right. Well, I smile and say, "You don't have to say, but given by the path, I assume you are the one that strips the bones."
Oh,
I think she'll start to chuckle at that one.
Very well.
Well.
So, and we cannot lie, but we also cannot tell the truth that you have sent us.
Yes, the Guardian will not permit you entry, and at worst it will kill you if you do. If you do either of those. If he knows of my involvement, you will likely be struck from existence. If you lie to him, you'll be lucky if that's your fate.
Very well. Do we all understand? And I'll kind of look at the whole party.
Now it's
Yeah.
just
Don't
player
lie.
characters. The Marine that you brought with you has sort of walked over and sat down next to Vezio, and he has this sort of glazed over look in his eyes.
Yeah.
don't lie. Don't tell the Guardian she's involved. Means-
Understood. Is there anything else that you could tell us about where we're going or this Guardian, or do we know enough?
You know enough. But there are other topics we could discuss. I noticed your crew was lacking in magic. Perhaps you wish to make pacts.
I would like to do that.
No, not with the hag. Not with the hag.
You would, Brutal. You would.
Yes, I would.
Her eyes pass over to you.
Your eternal soul.
If you wish to make a pact, return here once our mission is completed.
I'll nod.
Now the trail is ready for you.
All right.
Alex,
Alrighty
was
then.
alcohol good
Let's go.
by anyway? What when we were drinking that little drink, was it good?
It's
I like.
it's a
strong
very foreign taste palate to you. It's salty and sweet, but yeah, you like it. I mean, you like any alcohol, so you especially like this one.
Can I make a pact with the hads for more of that sweet, sweet Zaza?
that
I'm gonna-
alcohol.
So that is this druid runs on the Zaza, or what's the Australian word for it?
Knob.
Doobie.
Kanab. This druid runs
Knob.
on Kanab. I used to be a
S-word.
Kanab dealer.
True.
I must
Me and the
find out how
boys
to
when the
make that
Knob
alcohol.
hits.
Do you ask the hag how to make it?
Yeah, sure. I'll ask. Is that alcohol a local specialty that she makes herself, or?
No, it is from the land of Skalak Malak.
Ah,
Gesundheit.
Alex, have I heard of Skalath Malak?
Do
No.
I know that?
You have not. None of you have heard anything close to those syllables.
Can I roll a history check?
No.
I'm gonna do it
That is
anyway.
a
Okay.
very
Nads.
fascinating place. Where would it be located?
East.
East of here.
But there's nothing east.
She smiles.
Would there be any chance you can fill up this flask?
Yes.
And she'll, punch her fist through the earth and once again emerge with another tankard, and she will just hand the entire ceramic tankard to you.
Holy shit, I'm gonna fill up the flask and I'm gonna drink the rest!
Alright, you are now intoxicated.
No, I was joking. I was gonna. Wait, how big is the tank? I was joking.
Oh, it's a gallon jug.
Oh, it's a gallon jug. No, okay, I'll fill up the flask and I'll call it good.
Okay,
We're only gonna
sounds
go to
good.
the Guardian, who's gonna interrogate us and like make us only tell the truth, but also we can't tell what we're actually doing.
From a good booze.
I'm only
functioning
crushing one
alcoholic,
tankard.
don't
It's
worry
gonna
about
be
it.
fine.
It's a good booze.
So you hand back over the tankard after filling up your flask, and as you guys stand up to go, the Chlamretha will say, "Oh, and one last thing. Do not make any promises, and do not say your names."
Not make any promises and do not say your names. Yeah, good.
Fairly standard Fey nonsense.
And yet, your companion already told me her name.
Who, me?
Hag nods.
That is not my name.
She shrugs. We will see.
Okay.
God bless for alcohol.
It's literally not though.
Yeah, nicknames can functionally become your actual name if people only call you your nickname.
Really?
Yeah, it's not your true name, but yes, it can become your name.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay,
like technically, if someone cast a scrying spell on Lord Rothschild, even though that wasn't his actual name, it would still work on him.
Okay, I thought that true names were what mattered.
True names allow you to do way more fucked shit to people, especially for Fae, but even any name for a Fae can be useful.
Okay. Well, then I guess I'll cool it.
Yeah.
But
Either
also,
way.
scrying on Kaheen will just take you to like.
Oh yeah,
like
just
any
scrying is
random
not.
meth
Yeah,
farm.
just scrying is not a huge deal. Either way, you guys exit the yurt and make your way out into that grassy glade. Do you want to cut down the tree now or later?
I'm gonna
Later,
pull,
you carry a tree.
as we're walking, I'm gonna pull Kaheen back. If Rudel tries to actually do it, we have to stop it.
If Rudel tries to what?
Actually make a deal with the hag.
Oh, yes.
Alright.
No,
Maybe
he.
I'll
I will-
text.
I will discreetly go up to the others, other than Rudel, and tell them that as well.
Are you going to use his name again when you do it?
I don't think the hag can hear me,
Better safe than
But-
sorry.
but yes, I am going to, because if I didn't think of that the first time, I won't.
Yeah, you wouldn't think of it the subsequent 5
The next-
times. Yeah,
the next
All
3
right.
times.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna warn him. You shouldn't use names, just in case.
Oh well, it's a bit late now.
All right. So the 6 of you proceed along the Toothed Trail. Despite all logic indicating this should lead you back to the beach because that's where you entered it from. As you guys walk along it, the terrain around you begins to change. The trees begin to shrink in size. They're no longer not the trees. Like the terrain begins to change. The trees aren't actually shrinking. And like 200-foot trees, now there's 100-foot trees, and then there's 80-foot trees. And slowly this massive forest around you almost is receding in height. And as you guys sort of continue down this toothed trail, there's a rustling ahead of you, and bursting out onto the trail is a white horse, about 2 times bigger than a standard horse, so huge sized, with a long horn that reflects almost like metal. And its voice will appear in each of your heads. Who are you?
We are the crew of the Defiance.
I am the guardian of the glade, protector of the 2 drops. What brings you here?
We're here
We
for a
entered-
tree.
Then you should look elsewhere. These trees are not to be cut down.
That's why
The
we're trying to find one.
Then let us move on through your blade.
Do you intend to harm the glade?
no.
No.
You know, looking at the unicorn, it's not speaking. It's, you know, this is in your head. Its eyes, though, seem to pass from face to face. It has these solid sort of teal eyes, this long metallic horn, and it almost seems to gesture its horn at each of you, almost like it's checking something. And its eyes sort of rest on Georg for a couple of moments. Are you intoxicated?
Am I intoxicated? Like,
You're
how tipsy am I?
you're a little bit tipsy, a little bit soused.
No,
He's
but
on
he's
loose.
an alcoholic, so he can handle it.
Yeah. I didn't spend half my wealth to not develop that.
Yo!
That's litigated.
Well, the question
Alcoholism
stands.
stronger.
I've had some alcohol, yes.
Mm-mm.
He has a problem.
I do.
He's functional.
I spent half my wealth on alcohol.
He's a functional alcoholic.
The Guardian of the Glade will, seems to think for a long moment. Why do you walk the path of the broken?
To numb the pain of the past.
No. The horn points down at the trail of teeth that you walk on.
Oh!
This path.
Better than getting lost in the woods.
The unicorn will approach Shaiban. The question is Xander here? Because he was pissing.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm
Okay.
Here.
The unicorn will approach you.
I've been here for the whole entire.
Oh,
I just,
okay.
like, yeah.
It will
Maybe
lower
not the whole
its
one, but at least most of it, for what I've seen.
lower its horn and get very close to you.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll feel your emotions of anxiety and fear provoked from the hag sort of calm a little bit. And the unicorn will say, only to you. So the rest of you just see the unicorn lowering its head at Shaiban. You'll hear its voice in your head. May I look into your thoughts?
What thought? How deep?
Everything.
I'd rather not.
I can sense your anxiety and your fear. I can calm them. I can show you wondrous things.
I'm alright. I'm more just looking to get to the tree and get out of here.
The horse's two large eyes look at you.
What comes to me most is the work and the craft I pursue. And to return to that would be... It is most desirable right now.
What keeps you from this work?
Well, as the crewmate said, we need wood. All the trees at the beginning of the forest are much too thick for us to be able to cut down. We need I could go on, but I think you are above for that.
For the rest of you, the horse has remained staring at Shaiban for a solid 1 minute, while Shaiban's just been talking to it out loud.
Awkwardly stuttering in places.
Yeah. So far, none of those answers have actually been false. So the Guardian will step back, and all of you can hear it again. Stick to the edge of the glade. Do not disrupt those living there. And when you take your tree, if it is from a dryad or another living thing which can suffer, I will make sure you are punished.
Will it be easy to tell?
Oh, yes.
Very well.
And you hadn't realized, but the Guardian, behind it, you'd seen this sort of just, the trail continued. There was no clear sign of this being a special part of the path, but then with a sort of slicing motion of the Guardian's horn, a entire mirage, this sort of whole blanket of illusion magic that was directly in front of you, parts open, sort of like a curtain spilling open, and on the other side, you can see a beautiful sight. In the area beyond, there is a vast glade going as far as the eye can see. The grass here is tall, nearly chest high for you guys, and there are these large leaves which are collecting dew, almost like aqueducts of this little civilization. Humanoids live here, tiny ones, less than an inch tall, and they seem to have homes which span blades of grass. An entire mega city, for something of this size, sprawled out across this entire glade, and on the very edge of the glade is a small little dirt path, big enough to fit probably one person, in a row.
Kaheen, do you have your book and quill on you?
Names.
Shit.
Well, let's walk in.
Yeah, the Guardian maintains, the holding back the illusion with its horn.
What is this place?
The horse, one of its eyes looks over to you, and you hear a voice in your head. The glade of dewdrops. Last vestige of a people of the brownies.
The who?
The brownies. They are a diminutive people, smaller than even forest gnomes, preyed upon by everything that can eat.
And why is that?
They are weak. They are not magical. And they can be used in dark rituals.
Let us not waste the Guardian's time. We shall move forward and get the tree.
Yes, indeed.
Adrian, you sort of duck your head underneath the curtain and you draw gazes. It's really hard to you feel like a storm giant walking into the city state. It's just hard to really grasp what you're looking at. There are so many of these little dudes. They're on the floor of this massive glade. They're up in these little houses that are built between two different branches of grass shoots. Everything here is so small, you feel like with a gesture of your hand you could destroy whole city blocks. It's really fucking weird to be this big in comparison to this whole little civilization. You can see thousands of these little guys that are either doing work, collecting dewdrops, setting up aqueducts of little grass shoots that carry water from these big leaves down to the level ground. You're just being watched from all this whole little civilization. And you can head along the little dirt path until the rest of your companions can squeeze into the glade behind you. And as the last person walks through, which would likely be Kaheen, the Guardian will sort of pull back its head and the curtain will close behind you. And looking back the way that you came, the illusion works both ways. So you just see a continuation of the glade, even though, it doesn't exist.
Oh. That's nifty.
Oh, guys, I don't want to say it.
Yeah, I know.
As you guys,
I was
as
literally
the
just
six of
thinking
you are
that.
gathered on the little edge of this glade looking out, you can see, what looks to be a couple dozen of these little dudes. Not even as tall as your boots in some cases. They're starting to go to the edge of their little grass home. Sort of they're approaching the mothership or looking up at Godzilla.
I'm gonna try and carefully
alright.
squat and get close to one of them.
Yeah, you squat down, and they're still, really tiny, but you can make out individual features. They're roughly humanoid. They look a little bit more insectoid in the sense that, they have multiple arms, some carapace. They do seem to have men and women. They have clothing on. Some of them have tiny little bows, tiny little arrows. Most of them have, what look to be maybe their version of worker clothes that have a bunch of, satchels and pouches and stuff.
I want to.
Adrian.
Yeah, this is taking too long. She who strips the bones may.
No.
Oh no!
At the moment the words leave your lips, the scenic sight before you begins to decay. The dew from the great leaves evaporates, and everything there begins to dry out, almost as if some great force were sucking away the water. The town, the megaplex, the massive city before you begins to break into chaos as little fae flee in all directions. Some you see leap from their equivalent of like, you know, a 10-story little hut between two grass leaves attempting to flee this great sucking of water. You watch as great tendrils of waters begin to form into the sky above the village, and the water begins to swirl into a vortex tinting red like blood, and then stepping through that portal you see Chlamretha. She's taller than you, so to these people she is a rageful god stepping into their city. And as she arrives in the center of it, she looks at all of you, and you see two glowing red eyes amidst this civilization dying around her. And at the edge of this mirage, this illusion which maintained this entire village, you see the Guardian splits it open, begins to run through. The great galloping carries them directly across the air as to not disturb the homes of these small fae. And as the unicorn lowers its horn, almost as if it's prepared for battle, Chlamretha raises her right arm, and all of you feel your stomachs lurch, you smell sulfur, and you appear on the beach. You look
Vezio
left,
and the two Marines?
you see Adrian, Georg, you see Kaheen, you see Unios, you see Rudel, on, like, sort of sitting in a little circle, passing around a joint of Kanab. You see Vezio, and the three Marines. And then you see a large sycamore tree with its branches already removed.
And the boat is still there?
And the boat is still there.
Wait, did you say
I immediately walk up to the blunt rotation and ask to get in on it because that like destroyed me.
That was a little.
Yeah, Democritus is not there, but you do see that on the deck of the ship, you can see a little dinghy craft already being lowered, and you can see like a shock of white hair from an old man.
I'm gonna fucking nod to fucking Adrian. Damn, I respect that.
I had to get out of here.
That's fair enough. All right, we got our wood.
As efficient as that was heart-wrenching.
They weren't real people.
Jesus Christ! Vezio will stand up and
I'm gonna drink to that, and I'm gonna drink.
Jesus. Vezio will stand up,
everything.
and he will sort of shake off.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Vezio will shake off the residual effects of the hag, and he'll say, "What the hell happened? How did I get here?"
Hag.
It's a long story.
Hag.
Hags.
Well, if it's a long story, we
magic.
can talk
Let
about
us-
it once the ship is working.
We exterminated an entire race of magical creatures.
I'm
Well,
a
you know,
pull
we
Georg.
didn't.
I'm a-
I believe the thing said they specifically weren't magical.
Oh,
That
That is
honestly
not
makes
point.
it even worse, actually.
That is-
There's one particular scene that you keep seeing, Kaheen, which is, you know, these little guys are very small. So one of these towers was like their equivalent of a 10-story building, and this little guy was in there. He seemed to be doing something on the inside of the little hovel, and as the great drying began, the roof off the house was sucked away by that dry wind. All water was removed from his little place, which was like a single drop. And then being frightful that the wind would suck him up too, he leapt off that little 10-story, you know, equivalent high shelter towards the ground beneath. And you don't really know what his plan was, but what you saw was, regardless of him jumping, the hot wind sucked him up into that great vortex through which Chlamretha stepped.
don't tell me that. Man, and like as Ethan was saying it, I was saying out loud in the mic that I was gonna bend down and ask one of them who they were.
Yeah, I
And,
know.
like,
I
just,
heard
like,
you saying
start a
that.
conversation.
Yeah. Yeah. That was heart-wrenching. Everything about that.
Dude,
And, like,
oh my god.
I would
fucking
say we
brutal.
are definitely not good.
Yeah, you lied to a unicorn by omission.
Yeah.
As
Oh,
you
you're
guys,
from- You're good.
So it doesn't matter.
the dinghy is on its way over, and as you know, you guys are doing a head count. You notice that Rudel is not present.
Where is he?
Not on the beach.
I wanted to make a. I wanted to pull him aside. I wanted to ask him. I wanted to make a pact too. God damn it.
Well, she gave you the instruction of what to do if you want to make a pact.
Oh, go back there? Did he go back there?
You want me to go fetch Rudel?
No.
No.
He's making a pact. He might as well be dead. Or maybe
say
no
we
soul.
leave. I say we leave.
Well, we are leaving for another 4 days, so, you know.
Oh, well, that's a good point.
Well, then keep preparing. If he comes out, he comes out. If not, I don't.
What do we do when he comes out? Because can he be trusted anymore once he comes out?
We interrogate him before we let him on the ship.
I mean, he can just lie to us, though, can't he?
Not to me.
Do you have his own truth?
I will know.
What? No, you won't.
Yes, I will.
How?
I can always tell a liar.
I can hear it.
I'm just gonna like.
Unless you have some magic that can do it. I mean, some people are good at it, to be sure, but this is, Fey magic.
I'm gonna just like pick up that like tree that's already been split into logs and just start like fucking.
Yeah, as you pick it up, you do notice that there's a carving near the center of the trunk. Just not enough to actually impact its ability to function, just a little message left behind for you. And it says, "From your good friend, Chlamretha."
This
See,
feels
guys,
like
she
a bad
thinks we're
omen.
friends.
I'm gonna like point that like over to like the rest of the group and be like, I'm not very superstitious, but like this just feels like a bad omen.
I mean, she fulfilled her part of the bargain.
She did seem on. Can hags lie?
Yes.
Oh, damn.
If they're in the Feywood, it's a bit more risky to lie. They also can't really make false pacts because that's like a Feywood rule, not a hag rule. But no, they can lie by omission. They can do what you guys did to the Guardian. They can do straight up lies, especially if they're not in the Feywood. And even sometimes, as long as they don't make an oath, or if they make a very loose oath, like "I'll give you a gift," they can definitely lie.
Yeah. That is all we oath for, right?
If they think it's a gift, then they can...
Yeah, there's tons of ways around pacts and oaths as long as you word them in a very vague way.
Democritus is missing too, right?
No. He's on the dinghy on the way over. He must have been teleported to the ship or something. Either way, Democritus' little dinghy is about halfway across the cove, and he'll start shouting and say, "I need you to tell me everything before you forget. This could be my next magnum opus."
Don't worry, we're definitely not forgetting.
And yeah, you guys can make your way into the dinghy. It'll take 2 trips to get everyone back on board, especially with this large log. But it is perfect for what you needed. And, it's getting late. Despite you guys entering, like, bright and early in the morning, it's about 4 p.m. when you got back. And you'll get a breakdown of the timeline from Crab. Democritus appeared, like, 30 minutes after you guys left, and the rest of you guys appeared, late in the evening. So the day's basically burned through, but tomorrow you can start working on the rudder. So it'll take 3 days to get that done, and then your ship will be ready to go. But before we start doing repairs, we need to cut to Rudel, because you cast invisibility on yourself and walked back into the woods. Following the trail of teeth is easy enough, and when you follow it, though, you don't arrive back at that sort of glade with the yurt at its center. Instead, as you walk down the trail, you see something ahead of you, and it takes you a few seconds to recognize what you're looking at. Imagine that illusion I mentioned before surrounding the Dewdrop Glade was like a curtain, like a stage curtain. That curtain now has holes in it, almost like a moth began to eat away at it. So through different chunks of this illusion glamour, you can see through and see the interior of the Dewdrop Glade. And it is desolate. All moisture, all life, all anything has been removed.
All right.
Do you continue forward?
Yeah.
All right. You walk forward, and eventually you find a big enough hole in this sort of glamorous curtain of illusions to step through. And other than the dried grass that is going to make one hell of a fire if it ever ignites, that fills the entire glade, and the ruins of the civilization and the corpses of the small, dehydrated little brownies, at the center of the glade, there is a unicorn. Its head has been ripped from its body. It's the body of the unicorn, not the head, has been entirely stripped of all flesh, and the head is currently in the process of being devoured. The Chlamretha has unhinged her jaw like a snake, and she's currently got about halfway into her mouth.
Chlamretha, I have come back.
her blood red eyes look over, and for a moment you see that bestial hunger. You don't see this like kind of tricksy, kind of mischievous hag. You see a devouring beast with a unicorn halfway down its gullet, dripping blood from its mouth. But the hag takes her big right hand, which is, thick and meaty and muscular, and she smacks the back of the horn, and in this horrifying display, the rest, like, it pierces through her hand, but the force of the smack is enough to shove the rest of the unicorn gullet down her throat, and you see this big, almost like cartoon-like bulge before it just seems to disappear. And the hag looks over at you. She sort of wipes her mouth. Yes, welcome back.
I have come for power.
Yes, I know. Now,
This is so bad.
unlike my cousins who dwell in the realm of souls, I don't like getting bogged down in the details of contracts. I've no desire for 100-page document. Our pact will be a simple 2 sentences. You will serve Chlamretha, and Chlamretha will serve you.
No.
That is not a good contract.
That's not good.
I want 100 pages.
Never mind.
Bro, I don't
Can I
like
get a lawyer?
contracts. I like simple deals. Is a phrase that is only ever used by the shadiest business people ever.
And what might you have me do? I'm not so dull as to take a open-ended deal.
Oh, it is no gift. Just like my gift to your Defiance was no gift either. It is a transaction. I give you power, and in turn you increase mine. When you come across those who have defied me, you kill them, or you send them to me. And when I see an opportunity for immense power, items, new contracts, glades such as this hidden from the world, waiting to be devoured, then you will deliver me into them.
Rudol will pause, and he'll reach his hand out to shake.
Yeah. She extends her long, meaty arm. The sort of cloth falls backwards a little bit. And I think you have this moment as she goes to shake your hand. There is this little thing she said. Her cousins in the realm of souls. True hags, those who are actually old women of the woods, are fae. Despite all the things that separate them, they are ultimately still fae. They have no relationship with the realm of souls. However, red-skinned, glowing red eyes, curved white horns. I think you get the feeling as her hand extends to shake yours. This is not a hag. This is a demon.
Yikes.
Who could have thought?
So, do you pull your hand back, or do you shake?
Hold on, give me a second. Am I allowed a
No,
second?
you could not be thinking about this. Literal deal with the devil?
Bro, it's a demon.
Bro.
Let him cook.
Let him go.
Think about the power you will get. Bro,
Come on, demon!
Bro,
That is
there's
eternal
no more
servitude to
cooking.
just pure evil.
Oh my
Let
god.
him cook.
No. Bro, the restaurant closed.
It's Shrimple, only 2 lines.
Yeah, I'll pull my hand back.
It is not
Yeah, you
Shrimple.
pull your hand back. Chlamretha looks at you. There's no noticeable change in her expression. Has
Why are
something
you hiding
changed?
stuff from me?
Do you think you're somehow entitled to anything? You have not given me enough to learn about me.
This is
Bro's
true.
about to become a warlock.
Look at what you have already done. That guardian had been alive for a very, very long time. He was good. He sought to protect this broken species from extinction. Centuries spent patrolling those woods, looking out for evil. Why not just embrace the pact?
You're right. I will.
No! No!
Yeah, you
Damn.
extend your hand, you shake Chlamretha's great meaty arm, and you feel something fundamentally change about yourself. You feel this warmth in your chest, which turns to pain. It is agonizing as the finishing parts of the pact are made. You feel like you're going to burn up into nothing. But a moment later, your eyes open, and you are at the edge of the woods. You can see the beach a couple feet in front of you, and you can feel burning against your heart a glowing symbol. It's not bright enough that it would be visible outside of your clothing. Even a simple t-shirt, like a shirt, should be able to cover it up. But when you go to feel it, you can feel it burned into your chest right above your heart. There is a symbol. It's a circle with these sort of scattered lines running across it, and it's like a scar or a brand.
I'll continue to walk.
Okay. You walk out onto the beach. It's early morning, so I guess the evening passed with not much work being done on the Defiance. And the following day, in the wee hours of the morning, Kaheen, you are on the top deck for night watch. You're thinking about those poor fucking brownies, man. That poor unicorn, too. You can only hope the unicorn won that fight against Chlamretha. I mean, it's no guarantee that the unicorn lost. I mean, it totally could have won. It's a fucking unicorn.
Sure.
And you see Rudel. First you see a humanoid figure walking out on the beach. Then you see it sort of wave its arms, and then you recognize it as Rudel.
Stay there.
You shout really fucking loud, 200 feet, but the message gets across.
Okay. All right.
And I'm gonna go wake up Ethan.
Yeah, you head into the captain's quarters. Adrian is there sleeping. Crab is there. He fell asleep while reading.
Yeah. I wake up Adrian.
Oh, yeah. Kaheen, what can I do for you?
The trader has arrived.
Oh, is he on the beach?
Yes.
Crab sort of
All right.
snorts awake as he hears you guys talking and says, What happened?
Rudel went to go make a pact with a hag. He's back now, so I'm gonna go lock him up, basically.
Why?
So we can. I don't think he can be trusted anymore.
He raises an eyebrow. Before you do that, you do realize where our crew's magic comes from, right? Do you remember our previous surgeon, the esteemed Henry Kruger?
Sure.
He was a cleric, to a god I don't think any of us ever knew. And then I think at one point, if I recall correctly, he made a pact with a random wizard.
He did?
Yes.
Remember that?
Yeah, he
Yes.
did.
Yes. And I mean,
Oh.
Well,
my
wasn't
magic comes from arcane
Adrian-
blood, but who knows where Kaheen's magic comes from? All I'm saying is that unless he directly harms the crew, I think it's each man's... I mean, sorry, I just remembered. We have Democritus on board. Who knows if he's even actually a bard? But it's not our duty to interrogate people as to where their magic comes from.
I mean, benefit of the doubt is different than, oh, look at that. He went to go make a pact with the hag. Before he's back, he'll have to make a pact with the hag. So,
And if I were to make a pact with such deity, I could expect similar treatment.
yes.
He sort of sneers, but says nothing.
Yeah, I'll let them. Alright, get a few of the Marines together. Oh, and bring, some hand irons.
You guys don't have a brig.
Yeah, we'll just fucking, we'll figure something out.
Okay, well, the standard punishment for, treason would just be to leave him. I think that's the one we decided on.
I mean, we have to go through a whole thing first before that happens, though, don't we?
I mean, I guess it's just a vote. It's not like there's a trial.
He also
wouldn't wanna
didn't tell
get-
me not to.
He did. I think he No, you're right.
No.
He told everyone else, not you. True, actually. Either
Yeah,
way,
that's-
you can get
that's-
together
that's
your
my-
group of Marines.
You're right. That's my bad, Blake.
It'll
Stuff
be
like that.
Vezio, Adrian, and then 6 Marines. Well, 5. And, you're just sort of chilling on the beach, Rudel. And the dinghy will slowly, get rowed over to the beach. Adrian stands at its prow. You can see 5 Marines with him. I don't think it takes a genius to figure out. It's not looking good. I mean,
What's with the malice for an old friend?
I think you know why. You've probably figured it out. Wasn't that difficult, was it?
You never told me not to. And if you were that scared, you would have done so.
What a good excuse. Come on aboard.
Alright, I'm gonna do that.
yeah, you climb aboard. The Marines look at you somewhat concerned. Vezio has the same expression he always does, which is resting bitch face.
You know, just a formality, but still gotta do it. I'll gesture at the hand irons.
Riddle's gonna take a huge sigh and just put them on.
Yeah, they're fucking really uncomfortable.
Yeah, they're hand
but
irons.
the dinghy slowly rows back to the ship, and by now, you know, the news of the hag-touched man returning to the ship has spread around the crew, and obviously the debt slaves don't give a fuck. But most of the actual members of the crew have made their way to the top deck, so it's very crowded as the dinghy is raised up by ropes, and you guys climb out onto the deck. Every officer, so every player character, basically everyone except for the debt slaves is on the top deck of the ship.
Yeah, we'll get him on board.
Yeah, they're all looking at Rudel.
Well, you want to tell us what happened?
Well, I went back, and we made a deal.
Kind of deal.
Oh,
Wait.
sorry. I assumed he would say they made no deal.
Oh,
I
Oh,
was ready to call him a liar.
you were preemptively gonna call me a liar?
Well, I knew you made a deal.
I
Look at
I
that,
wasn't.
we did.
Okay.
Nobody
what
goes
kind
to a
of
hag
deal?
and doesn't make a deal.
anyway,
It's
Yes.
too tempting.
that's fun.
I'm sorry.
What
This is kind of
deal?
out of character. I just found it really funny.
Hijacking it.
That was funny.
But yeah,
What kind of deal?
it's pages and pages. You know how the Fae are.
That.
Liar!
Democritus begins to push his way to the front of the crowd and says, Wait, my client here is going to plead the 7th guarantee of freedoms.
All
This is a
Marines,
fucking lawyer.
if he utters one more word, take him ashore and leave him.
What? Do you-
Words? Alright, cool.
Alex,
He
can I do
screams.
a?
He screams. Democritus screams. he just yells very loudly.
Alex, can I do
Fair enough.
a history check on whatever Democritus
Yeah, sure.
said?
You may know it.
'Cause I
I mean,
kinda wanna know what
Unios
that is.
definitely would know it, but yeah, this is a well-known thing. There was a philosopher in the city of Zuri called Eugemenes, and he wrote 10 beliefs that he believed that all humans were entitled to. It's sort of like the Declaration of the Rights of Man or something similar to that. And the 7th provision of that was that in a criminal proceeding, no person should have to speak unless they have representation. Which is a different region, which, I mean, obviously he's from that city, so he thinks it applies everywhere, but no, it doesn't. And also, you don't need lawyers. Also, this is a ship with no legal anything, like, but he did it. He tried.
Alright,
He made a pact with an evil being that committed genocide against an entire species.
Crab chuckles.
You know
He
that's
admits
not
it.
even true. Fays don't work like that. You know that.
Phase don't work. What? Like you didn't see what just happened in there?
Crab speaks up and says, Now, let's not get too hung up on who genocides who, if I recall correctly. Aren't you a fan of that Ascendant Emperor in Al Sarah?
I've never said that, but he might be Al Jaib.
and, that's, not the point. We're
Captain,
here to just-
I said it in the cabin, and I didn't think I'd have to say it in public, but I'll say it here. We don't go after anyone else's strange beliefs. Half of you could be death cultists for all I'm concerned, and I'm pretty sure some of your Eastern religions are. But we don't worry about that, because we're crew members. I know some of you look at my cat strangely, my experiments with Hod, and some lesser-minded men may even call them evil.
but I have never once done anything to act against the nature of the crew.
This is all very true. I and no one else has anything against any personal religions or anything of that nature. Right? However, this is an unknown. We don't know what control this Fae has over the crew. We don't know what he can do, what he can't do, in what scenarios he can do things, in what scenarios he can't do things. We don't know when it's going to come and let us down. If it is, it may not. We don't know. Too many unknowns.
Dururo, may I ask just one question?
Hmm?
Can you still work on the ship?
Of course I can.
Perfect. That's all I need. I don't care beyond that.
You don't care if
Just
you can be
so,
trusted?
yeah, just to be clear, to get the vibe of the ship, I think that when you first spoke, most of the crew is on board, just because, regardless of what, regardless of their individual prejudices between races and each other and religions and stuff, almost everyone can universally agree, evil thing, bad. But I think now that Crab and Shaibon have spoken, I think you're kind of losing them. I think you still have a majority, like, push come to shove, if you push a public vote, I think no matter what, you'll probably be able to get Rudel just because it's so fucking sus. Also, they crashed the ship. This hag thing is the general belief amongst the crew is that the hag directly crashed the ship. So if you do a public vote, I think it would probably work. But you notice, like, there are some people who have some very disapproving expressions. Obviously, Shaibon disagrees. Crab he always looks like an asshole. Like, he's very angry, but he genuinely looks almost furious at the moment. And Democritus doesn't care that much. He was just being contrarian.
Yeah, of course he does. Of course he does.
Based Democritus.
I don't need to know the ins and outs of a deal, as long as I know that Udo, when the time comes, will you step up to the plate?
Of course I will.
That's all I need
You're
to
my
hear.
friends, and so are you, Adrian. Even if you don't believe that.
I've always believed that. Searching.
A Marine will look at Vezio.
Motion for a couple
Yeah,
seconds.
Marine will look at Vezio. Vezio will nod. Vezio is probably, he's the perfect, like, strongman for a totalitarian crew. The captain says so, he's like, all right, let's fucking do it. So, yeah, one of the Marines will begin to, feel along Rudel's possessions. He has no new items, no new special stuff, no crazy tag anything, and he's not going to strip search him, which is the only way you'll be able to find the brand. So, yeah, they find nothing of note, just what he had on him before.
His eyes look different.
You get real close and look at him, and in any other circumstances would be weirdly intimate, but in this one, with like half the crew watching, it's sort of stressful to be like, do I see any changes? His eyes aren't red, they're not like glowing, they're not like streaks of red through them or anything. He looks a little bit tired, like there's a little bit of bloodshotness to them because he was working on the ship for like a full day almost. Big bags underneath his eyes.
Makes sense. All of this is very normal.
Yeah, no other changes.
I am going to do this because this is the best way I can think to do this. I'm only doing this because Adrian is a partial spellcaster.
Okay.
A 15. Yeah, that's.
What are you wondering?
I don't think
What are you
that does
asking?
it.
Yeah, what do you want to know?
I'm just wondering if Adrian would even think to look for symbols or anything like that.
I mean,
It's
genuinely,
gonna
he
occur.
may. So the thing is, hags almost never, if this was a deal with a genuine hag, which I don't think anyone except for Rudel would assume otherwise, because he saw her in, like, the perfect light to figure out what she was. For everyone else, hags almost always take a body part, or they give you a coin. Sometimes you'll have this just sort of spoken agreement,
Oh my gosh, yeah, wait.
but
Show us the coin.
almost universally, hags will take body parts or give you coins.
Okay. Take him into the cabin.
Yeah, I mean, the two Marines will look at Vezio. Obviously, Vezio nods, so they'll just bring Rudel over to the captain's cabin.
As they're bringing him away, I shout at him, Gefala!
Crab is the only one who knows what that means, but he looks over at you like, come on, man.
Yeah.
All right,
Rudel's gonna say, bless you.
All right. Stand by here a moment.
Yeah, Rudel is placed in the captain's cabin, and two Marines join him inside.
That's to the rest of the crew. I'll go into the cabin.
Okay. The two Marines that were inside will go outside, so it's just Rudel and Adrian.
No, I do.
Oh, you want them in there. Okay, cool. So it's Rudel, Adrian, and two Marines.
All right. You have all his body parts.
I'm gonna do the thing where you count on each finger, like, or like show all my, take off my socks and shoes.
Yeah.
Kind of just like
No,
wiggle
those
every single
dogs.
appendage that I have.
You know, for free.
Sometimes, Ethan, you know as well as I do this. Sometimes they take hearts.
It's true.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah.
But yeah,
Alright,
you look
take
at what
his-
visible things he has, and they're all there.
Seems to-
You're
Alright,
not
take his
gonna
shirt off.
rip me open.
Well,
No, obviously not. No, take his
Pepe.
shirt off.
What are you doing?
Searching you. I don't know what sort of mark actually that would give an indication at least. They take body
Of course
parts
you know.
sometimes.
Of course you know what marks they leave. They leave none. They leave a coin or they take a body part. All
I'm
my
making
body
sure.
parts are here.
Well, let's.
Yeah, I mean, a
See what
Marine, they're not gonna like listen to logical arguments. They're just gonna do what Adrian said. So a Marine will walk over and begin to like, you know, he'll hold out an arm to collect the shirt. He's not gonna like take it off you if you're gonna do it yourself.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Well, clearly, like, there's like nothing else I could do, so I'm
It
gonna
is
take
what
off
it
my
is.
shirt.
Yeah. You know, underneath you see Rudol's relatively toned physique, and right above his heart, you see a brand. The flesh there is red and pink, almost like, you know, they just got branded, and it forms a circle with several lines crisscrossing through it and a triangle at its center.
That's nifty.
Mm-hmm.
What's that about?
I don't know. I actually don't know.
You don't know.
Well, it got. When I came back, it was there, and that's as much as I know. I know as much as you that it's there.
All right, come outside.
Do you put your shirt back on?
Yeah,
No,
yes, I
no,
do.
No.
Oh, oh, oh.
Oh,
Wait,
he's not
I can
giving
put my
you
shirt
away.
back or no?
No, you cannot.
He's
Okay.
keeping a shirt. Oh my, this is getting erotic.
Oh
So you open the door to the cabin. It's still,
James
it's the
leans into his
weeest
eyes.
hours of the morning, so there's no light to see by, like, into the cabin itself. So, you know, there's this moment as Rudolph steps out from the shadows of the cabin into the light, and everyone sees the brand on his chest. And the thing is, it's not some gasping moment because no one knows what they're looking at. Like, they were expecting a missing arm or something, like some crazy shit he was hiding with magic, and all they see is, like, a fraternity brand on his chest, and they just... Yeah, I think
That's
Crab
crazy.
eyes go wide a little bit, but no one else really reacts very much.
I'll look at Crab, Kaheen, and who else was
This is not good.
Democritus. I'm not really sure what it means.
Democritus walks
Bad.
forward with a sheet of paper, places the sheet of paper on Rudol's chest, and then begins to etch, like, you know, scratch a piece of charcoal across Rudol's chest
I
so that he can
assume-
copy it.
I assume I'm gonna lose 1 health point from that because that shit would hurt.
It would hurt real bad, but it's not actually doing damage to you, so it's just agonizing.
Okay, I'm just gonna start screaming.
Oh, Jesus!
Yeah, Democritus pushes harder so he can get the etching quicker.
I'll push Democritus off.
Yeah, he sort of stumbles backwards with his 3/4 finished etching, and he just begins to stare at it sort of on his back.
You can talk again, Democritus. You have insights into
He looks, you know, he moves the paper out of the way so he can look at you, still on his back, and says, "Well, as I was saying, I'd like to keep this so that if we get to a real city, I can look at one of their libraries.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Now, can I finish?"
Wait, why can't you just look at it and try it?
Can I get, like, the other 1/4? I just heard a little bit.
You can finish it by that. Why do you need to trace it?
I just want to. All right, fine.
Oh, finish it
Fine.
normally.
No,
Fine.
no.
And he'll just begin to trace out, you know, roughly copying the symbol. Crab will look at you, Captain Svensson, and shrug. I don't recognize it.
What could it mean? Any idea?
Could be that that's how his hag chose to mark him. Could be that... No, I think that's the most likely.
Does that mean the hag can control him, or
It means likely she'll be able to talk to him and scry on him, but since we already had the coin, that doesn't change much.
all right?
To be honest,
Okay.
the thing I'm more frightened of is that at this point, almost 10 members of our crew have been afflicted by that
action behavior controlling spell, almost charmed, and I'm not sure how this hag was able to do that.
Do you think she's powerful?
He said
He
she'd
seems
leave
to
you-
pause for a couple long seconds, but then he'll say, yes.
Is that not normally something hags can do?
No.
Hey, Adrian,
Yeah.
can I sleep now?
How would we just call for a general vote for like his expulsion if that was the?
Yeah, I think you get the vibe though. Looking at the crew, you could
Yeah,
get
yeah,
that
no,
majority
no,
if you want it. Yeah.
Yeah, that I know. That's just how we would do it.
Yeah, and just be a simple majority. And honestly, the real shit is that it doesn't actually have to be voted on. The captain, in times of traveling across the sea, those punishments we talked about in session 0, those can be administered almost universally. The crew would have to organize a vote against it because the captain is assumed to be operating on the behalf of the crew since he's elected.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, Rudel. I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt.
No.
No.
Sorry. Go ahead.
That was it. I'm just going to give you the benefit of the doubt. Keep you in close eye, but I'm not going to call for a vote. But it's a democracy. If anyone wishes, they can.
Okay. I'm gonna give a
But I'm not
thumbs
going
up.
to.
Rudo begins to pull his shirt back on.
Unless
I
anyone
want to go to
objects.
Crab, and
Yeah.
I want to start speaking to him in Alceranian. Or
Which
Pep.
ancient
I
Apep?
think we both speak Neo.
He also does speak Neo. Yeah.
Yeah, we both speak Neopep. So I'll say to him in Neopep, are you not concerned with this?
He continues to look at Rudel, but he will say to you, "You and I are not allies in this. I will not share information with you."
Oh.
Based crab.
Why? So you do know something.
Yes.
Then I ask not to play sides. But I am scared, and it seems that you are not. Should I not be worried?
I believe it is unlikely that Rudel will turn against the crew. However, I also believe he may begin to partake in behaviors you would view as wrong, but nothing worse than what I do.
Well, what? Nothing worse than your experiments on cats?
Sure.
Very well. Thank you.
He nods. And,
Yeah,
with the drama resolved.
Speak up and object.
Oh yeah, does anyone want to call a vote to have Rudel expelled from the Defiance and left on the beach?
No.
Alrighty.
Unshackling.
He's
The
unshackled.
political capital on it.
He pulls his shirt back on, and the crew begins to disperse. I think that's all for today. For that day, you guys, the whole day you were working on repairing the thing, so we're gonna kind of skip forward, but we're gonna go back and fill in what happened during that time. The 19th is when the rudder will be done, and you guys will be able to leave the cove. But before we end, there is sort of one last thing I want to do, which is later, probably not even that day, not even the next day, probably like the second day of rudder repairs. Rudel, you're like calf deep in water. You're working with Shaiban to shape the rudder so that it's matching the previous one. And you guys are working with like a bunch of sawhorses on top of the water. It's just remarkably convenient. And Frab, who has not left the ship in like the entire time you've been here, he is like, trouncing through the water beside you. He has his like ruffly robes pulled up to his knees so he doesn't get them wet. And he'll walk over to you, Rudel, and say, "Bosun, can I speak with you?"
I'll look to Shaiban and say, "Continue doing what you're doing. I'll be back later."
Trust me, I was planning on it.
Yeah, Rudel will laugh and walk
Yeah,
and start
you
trudging over to Crab.
Yeah, you trudge through the water and walk away from the ship, get a bit of distance until it's basically just you and him, and he'll look at you, and as always, it's kind of hard to tell what he's thinking. It's just that sort of neutral, imperious expression of, I'm better than you. But he'll say, I recognize that symbol on your chest.
Yes?
You know that wasn't a hag, right?
Yes, I realized at the last second.
That is good. It's good that you went through with it. In a sense, we are now kinsmen.
Oh.
And he'll hold out his hand, and he'll speak the spell of a minor illusion. And you watch as sort of the illusion on his palm melts away, and you see a pretty nasty-looking scar. His was self-inflicted, not a brand placed upon him. It's not exactly the same. It's a triangle with an additional triangle on each of its faces, so it sort of forms like a kind of like a Triforce-looking thing. And he'll look at you and say, I cannot be certain we serve the same prince, but we're probably close enough.
I'll reach out to, I guess, for a shake.
He will look at it and shake his head. That does not make us friends. We are colleagues.
I understand.
I will watch out for you, and I expect you to do the same for me.
Understood.
He gives a nod and will trounce his way, very uncomfortable by all this water. He'll make his way back to the boat. He can barely swim.
Tiny hut.
Yeah, he does indeed have... Hey, that's true. He does have a tiny hut. And we will... I guess we'll wrap up there. Remove 3 grog rations from the 3 additional days spent on the sandbar. The storm that was raging was a really bad one, by the way. I rolled literally one of the worst storms you could ever get. It lasted for 10 days. But storms also move. So as you guys were in this nice little cove for 4 days, the storm obliterated the exposed coastline and then just moved away out into the open ocean. So you guys were entirely spared that storm. Also a warship, if the hag was to be believed. And with that is all we got for this week.
Wait, real quick.
Yeah,
Question.
real quick.
For the days that we were just spent in the fucking Feywood,
Okay.
does that count towards I'm assuming that doesn't count towards the amount of days it'll take to fix the ship, or...
It kind of does. You guys spent a little bit, about a full work day in the Feywood, and that did count against your time to repair the ship.
Okay, cool.
Remove spices too.
Yeah, 3 spices, 3 grog, no food though, because you guys were fishing for the whole time. All right, with that, I don't know exactly which day it'll be next week. We'll figure that out, and that's all we got this time. A hag, wink wink, and a fixed rudder, and that's all we need.
Bye, YouTube.
Bye-bye.
Bye.